why are we talking when we could just be recording?
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk unless we're recording. This is why I don't tell you things through the week anymore.
It just turns into
Or
like,
month.
let me just bring this out and show you this. Let me show you this.
Yeah, this started as us talking about why our desks are messy.
And I was gonna do like a bit of a preamble, but I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna record. And I was showing Derek so he's showing what, your Raspberry Pi that has AV out.
Yeah.
So you can
which is
record off of
composite, yes.
composite.
Yeah.
Just say AV.
It's an old one. It's a Raspberry Pi 1 that I got from some guy for a deal. Oh yeah, it's screwed closed now.
How much did you pay for that?
I don't remember. I think it was
give
like
me numbers. It does not
no,
have
I got it in a box of random electronics. So this was in the box, plus an LCD screen for Raspberry Pi, which is worth $80 to $100, and a bunch of other random electronics for like Arduino projects and tinkering. And I think I paid maybe $20 for the box.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I mean, I don't need more Raspberry Pis, but I do.
I need to find a reason to have Raspberry Pi so that you can just have a reason to make them for me. Right?
Yeah, sure. It's just I keep buying them is the problem. Not that it's a real problem, but
Let me figure out how much I paid for this. Oh, I paid $4.45 for this
That's pretty
HDMI to AV adapter from AliExpress.
not bad.
And the reason I got it is because I have a really small TV in the garage. And for if any reason I needed to hook up a system to show how that worked out there without having to like bring people into the house to show them.
You just need a
That's
VCR
what-
in the garage.
Could do that. Or for $4 this.
Well, the other day I got 2 free VCRs.
I also don't have the space for a VCR in my garage.
Me neither.
But how many do you have?
I don't know how many VCRs I have.
I have one, and I've kept it at one.
I think it's more than 10 now.
Oh, plus
Do you count the TVs with VCRs built in?
Yes.
Then it's probably
That
more
counts
than
as double.
Maybe it's more than yeah, well. I have 4 of those now.
Yeah, fair.
I just picked up another one the other day for free. So actually, not for free.
Free?
I traded a bag of rice for it.
Oh, interesting.
The person said they needed rice or paper towels. I said, I have a giant Costco size bag of rice. They said, you don't have to give me the whole bag of rice. I don't want to be greedy. Just give me some rice. I gave him the whole bag. I mean, it was an $18 bag, but the TV's worth more than $18.
Sure.
And it works even better. Now, I didn't know that it worked before I got it, so
Good.
yeah.
So the TV I have in the garage is not. It's just a flat screen, like 13-inch Toshiba. But I like it. It's got a nice picture on it. And I was just like, I could use that for
CRT.
CRT, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I could use that for things. I could, like, for Halloween, I could put it, like, scary stuff on it. And put it, like, in the window or something. And the bathroom window. And kind of put it out and stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't know. But then I was like, but it's AV component. No, composite. And I would be
Yeah.
like, I need to make that conversion somewhere and then hook up a Google Chromecast to it so I can just get something running off Plex or YouTube or
I have some videos for you for that if you do want them.
just put on Hellraiser or something.
Yeah. I figured you want it like kind of kid okay.
No, screw the kids. Don't scare them.
Just full on blood and guts and gore.
Yeah. Well, it's through the bathroom window, right? So it's a little bit that opaque, so you can't see
I
fully.
guess.
You just see stuff happening.
Put on Redneck Zombies.
There you go.
It's a trauma movie. Yeah.
Well, we're recording on Friday night, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't be a Friday night without a home emergency.
What now?
My laundry room started flooding again.
Again.
I was giving the kids a shower, and my wife comes running upstairs. Shut the shower off! Shut the shower off! And I was like, "What happened?" She's like, "There's water dripping." She said, "Dripping from the floor," is what I heard.
Okay.
Or coming. There's water coming from the floor, or something like that.
So
It
like
made
the
me
drain
think
in
there-
the floor?
So that made me think
Coming up.
that because the shower's the top floor, and she's
Yeah.
in the kitchen directly below us.
Then there's obviously a plug somewhere plugged between the basement drainage and the outdoor street.
Well, okay. I didn't know it was in the laundry room yet, so you have information
Okay.
that I didn't have.
Well,
When
you
I
know it
was-
was below you.
Well, my immediate thought was it's between the bathroom and the kitchen. It's coming out from the ceiling in her. It's floor
Okay.
for me, but it's ceiling for her. Anyway, so we were going down to the basement. And I'm like, oh, it's in the basement. Oh, it wasn't that much water, but it was just like, ugh. I put in like that drain plug for the laundry room drain. It's one of those ones that allows water to drain down, but plugs up when the water comes up.
Oh, I didn't know that existed.
It's very handy. It saved us a lot when we were having issues before. And basically, like it stops it, and then whatever the backup is goes up through your pipe to the next lowest spot, which for us would
Yeah.
be the laundry tub.
Yeah.
At least then everything's contained in the laundry tub, and it's not all
Until
over
it
the floor.
floods out of it. Yeah. At least you have a backup. Yeah.
But at least I'll
Yeah.
hopefully notice it before then.
Maybe.
So, hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyway, but yeah,
So-
it's like a $9 part at Home Depot. Just go and buy one. And just put it in your house. It's the best thing. Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know what it was. I was like, I don't know. Go back up and turn the water back on, and let me see what happens. The water went back. The water cleared itself, and
I have a child.
I
Trying
saw
to
some movement
bug
back
me.
there. I will pause. Anyways, so the water went down. Whatever the problem was disappeared. We had like city was doing some water work outside, so I just assumed maybe there was like an air bubble trapped somewhere. I don't
Guess
know.
you'll find out.
Find out. Everything's gone. I pulled that drain plug out. It was kind of limey and stuff, so I cleaned it all off and installed it. Yeah, we'll see how it
We'll
goes.
see. I have one of those little cameras on a line, like on a cord, if you wanted to try.
Oh,
but
okay, yeah.
I have two of them actually, but they're not amazing. Like obviously the ones the professionals have are way better, but
Yeah. They're spending thousands of dollars for those things. So.
yeah, or tens of thousands.
I just use that little like drill snake thing and run it through once in a while, and
Hmm.
it's the best.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
I guess you'll find out. Yeah, that's a good Friday night, right before
Good
recording
Friday
podcast.
Yeah.
I gave away more VHS tapes. I keep
Good.
finding more and more people that are local here that are either posting the videos on YouTube or they want tapes for, I don't know what, I think one person said they wanted them for cottage, and I don't remember, but tons of reasons, but a lot of people are put them on YouTube. The guy who picked up a box second last, said his son wants to post them on YouTube. So I'm like, well, hold on. Some of these tapes have nudity and horror movies, and just be warned. He's like, okay, thanks for letting me know. I said, I don't know how old your kid is. Like, for all I know, his son is 20 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's 5 years old, but he said his son likes putting videos on YouTube. So he was begging me for tapes, and he didn't come pick them up quick enough. So I gave them to someone else, and he got upset. And I'm like, hold on, just chill out. I'll have more tapes in a few days. So I put together another box of 50 tapes and gave it to him. So, and then another box of 24 tapes went yesterday as well.
Good.
And that guy says he'll come back in 2 weeks at the same date and time for more tapes because he lives in Guelph and he drives to Kitchener every 2 weeks for an appointment of some kind.
Oh,
So, yeah.
cool. Speaking of Guelph, I don't know if you know or are interested. This by the time anyone hears this, it'll be over. But Guelph Video Game Swap is on Sunday.
Brody's swap. Yeah. It's been a while since I've been there.
Thinking of taking my oldest.
My son keeps asking to do swaps, but he wants to sell at swaps because he wants money. He wants money to buy more things.
Yep.
And he has some stuff to sell, but I don't know.
Just gotta get him selling himself on Kijiji. Set up him with a Kijiji account.
Yeah, but he can't have his own Kijiji account. I can't trust kids. And communicating with people. And
Yeah.
what I need to do is get him doing the photos and writing the listing, and then I do the rest.
Yeah.
That would be a start at least.
Just hand him your old phone and be like, "Here, take the pictures, write the ad, let me look at it before you do anything."
Yeah, I need to train him on picture taking for an hour.
Well, no. Let him start by himself first, and then say, "Okay, how can we improve this?"
Here's how you did it wrong. Oh, I also had a guy. I forgot to. I'm gonna grab them, but I'll be right back. They're right here.
Vamping. I can vamp.
But can you rap?
No.
I'm sure no one heard that. So this guy came to get some tapes, and he said I forget what he said he does with them, but when he got to the door, he said, "I'm going to propose a trade instead." Oh, he also bought some Pokemon cards my son had for sale. He said, "I'm going to propose a trade instead," because I was going to give the tapes away. But he's like, "If you want, you can have some of these videotape ephemera books that I make." Oh, they're being grayed out or blurred out. So he makes these, he calls them glitch art, I think it is. But he made a whole bunch of them, and he's local in town. And I guess he takes stuff from videotapes, or he takes like a scanner, and he'll start scanning in a document or a picture, and then he smears it. I need to turn off my background to make it a lot easier for people. I'm trying to describe and talk, and anyway, so he takes it and like just makes like weird, these little booklets and weird art pictures and stories to go with each thing. And I guess he's starting to do VHS tape stuff with this soon or already. Here's a Game Boy in that one. So that's kind of neat stuff. My wife said she really liked it, actually. She was quite happy with
like a
them.
book, like you read it, or what?
Like they're little booklets, but there is stories in them and poems and stuff like that.
Okay.
And like, I don't know, some.
So you got some free exposure, is what it means.
Yeah. Well, I didn't give his name yet.
Okay. Well, to you, I mean.
This one looks. Yes, that's true. To me, he did show me what he's doing. I don't know if any of this is like already legitimate copyrighted stuff or what, but because that looks like it's just something normal. That's more. I like that more like abstract and.
Yeah.
Anyway, no one who's listening to this can see these, but basically just like weird art stuff and some poems and stories and stuff. And he does it all himself. Here's one that's you recognize this? It's not Earthbound, is it?
No.
Can't tell. I don't know. Some game.
Looks like a Pokemon, maybe.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. It is Pokemon. That's why it looks so familiar. The grass, like why those bushes look familiar. Anyway, so he does these ephemera books and makes this stuff, and this one's actually got some like programming code in it. Yeah. Those were a trade for my VHS tapes that I was giving him. So, and then that got me interested, and I'm like, well, I should look through some of my tapes first. So like glitch mistake. It'd be kind of cool to make like a tape compilation of a whole bunch of like satellite cutting out or restarting and stopping of recordings and tracking issues and stuff. But who knows if anyone would watch it? It'd be kind of cool to have on the background or something. Maybe on your TV in the window.
Yeah. Put that on my HDMI to AV.
Yeah, 6 hours of content just to have in the background. And for every hour of content it takes for every hour of content it takes how long of editing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like I said, I'm finding tons of people around here that are doing interesting things or the same kinds of things with tapes. So yeah. I have things on my list I realized I need to shift around.
Surprise, I have no list. Because
gasp.
surprisingly, I have not done a whole lot. We've done some things. Don't get me wrong, we've done some things.
I have quite a list.
Okay, well.
It's not the same as last time's list where it was like all the things I watched. This is less of that.
I feel like we're switching because last month I feel like I did a lot of the talking, and now this month it's going to be all you.
I wouldn't go that far. My wife decided we're going to start doing family game night or family date nights where I'll take a kid and she'll take a kid and we'll do separate things with them just to give them more one-on-one time. So my daughter chose she wanted to do VR. She wanted to play Job Simulator because we played it that day I had it for PlayStation before I sold the copy to you.
Okay. Yeah.
And they loved it. They were just obsessed. And we played it on the PC one time because I own it on Steam as well. But my PC VR is just more work to set up because it uses more space. So I did eventually set it up and we played, or I did that with her that night. And then my son and my wife went to like an arcade bar. I think they went to Pinup Arcade. So for their side, I forget what else we did, but okay. So that's something we're planning on doing, like kind of every other week, I think. So,
okay, good idea.
Fun. Yeah. Want me to keep talking? You got stuff.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
No more floods. No more tragedies.
No more
you didn't fall and
floods.
hurt yourself.
Yeah, no, we're good.
You need one of those water alarms. Speaking of AliExpress earlier, I bought these little sensors that has like a cord coming off of it, and then you can plug it into the wall or use a 9-volt battery, and it detects if there's water, and if there is, just a really loud alarm. And I bought one for me and one for my mother-in-law who had a flood in her basement years ago. So I should look into one of those.
Maybe I should.
Yeah. So I, speaking of, I told you also while we were not recording that I got 2 free VCRs. I got those while I was at a guy's house because he had another HDMI VCR DVD player.
Oh.
And he had it for $30. And I was like,
That's cheap.
I'll just go with it. That's a really good price. And I couldn't believe that no one else had responded to him. But his ad said, when you contact me, send a phone number. I'm like, okay, so he's old school, right? He's not into this chatting stuff. He wants to talk on the phone. Yeah. So I messaged him, and he actually texted me the next morning at like 7 a.m. So I replied back to him. We arranged pickup. I was, again, still surprised no one offered him $200 for the VCR, but whatever, because that's what these things go for on eBay. So I went to his house, and he brought it out. It was all like nicely wrapped up in saran wrap to hold the cord and the remote together. Oh, I'm like, okay, this guy takes care of his things. He started saying, like, I don't know. He said, I know the DVD side works. I didn't try the VHS side. I'm like, well, VCRs are actually what I'm going to use it as mainly. And I explained a little bit. I do YouTube videos and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, so you like VHS then? Well, all right, give me a minute. He goes in the house, comes out with his keys, opens the trunk of his car, and he's got 2 VCRs sitting there. He's like, oh, jeez. If you want them, you can have them. They were just going to go to Goodwill anyway or thrift store anyway. I'm like, I'll take them. I'll never say no. He's like, if you don't want them, just donate them anyway. I'm like, absolutely, yes, no problem. So they are mono sound, but still, that's...
You can fake stereo if you need to.
If you want to. I was thinking they might be good at the GameSwap because Bill keeps even having luck with old school stuff, but... I don't know.
TVs, though, I don't know if VCRs are selling.
I know. I don't know. Did anyone try? Or is TVs because of gaming?
I think TVs because of gaming, I'd imagine.
Probably. Yeah. But either way, if it goes through my mind, I have them sitting there now. Worst case, I use them for cleaning tapes. Like, I could cut them and change it into a cleaner. I already have one cleaner, though, that I broke the head on learning how to clean. So I don't need another one that badly, but they're there sitting in my VHS file right now. We'll see.
You're gonna have a stack of VCRs like you have a stack of Xboxes in here.
I no longer have the stack of Xbox. Well, I do have a stack of Xboxes in the garage. Never mind. I probably have more than 6 of those, but I did have like 20 at one time that I piled a stack higher than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So I tested it out, and it turns out it didn't play VHSs. As soon as you put in a VHS, it plays fine, or it starts to play, but the HDMI out is blank. If you hook it up to component or composite, it works fine.
Oh.
So I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, I have this exact same model. I'm going to swap the parts. So I grabbed the main board that does the HDMI out and swapped it between the two of them, and the problem followed the board. And I also noticed the HDMI port has some damage on it. Like, in the middle of an HDMI port, you have where the pins are, and there's that like hard plasticky stuff on the side there. Yeah. The corner of that plasticky stuff is broken off, so the HDMI is a little bit loose. Doesn't seem to affect it because I figured out afterward, doesn't matter. Either way, I was like, I'll search eBay, see what they got. So I looked on eBay, and there was 3 of them, all around $60 with shipping.
Mhm.
And so one of them's in Push Lynch, but they wouldn't do local pickup. Another one
Really?
came. The other one came from. I don't know where it came from. Anyway, I bought one of them. I just went ahead and did it. I put them all on my watch list, and the next morning, all three of them sent me offers. So I had messaged the guy about Push Lynch, and he said he wouldn't do local pickup, and I bought the other one on the spot. I just said whatever, $60. The VCR is worth more than that to me. Getting this one working is worth more than that, so I'll buy a parts one.
Yeah.
And I made sure that the description kind of implied that it might work over HDMI. I also messaged each person and asked them, but they didn't all answer. Only one of them replied back. So I figured, whatever, I'll take a chance on it. And then I never realized, or I forgot, when you're looking at an item on eBay, if it's local to you, especially in Ontario for us, when you get to the payment step, taxes will be added.
Yep.
And I forgot about that. So that was an extra, like, whatever, $15 I think at the
yeah.
most, or $12, something like that. It was just disappointing because I thought I was getting a greater deal, but whatever. I bought it. It came in. It stinks like cigarette smoke or something. Not quite cigarette smoke, something else. But anyway,
Marijuana?
no, it's almost like pipe or I don't know,
Oh,
something
like
weird.
a heavy tobacco.
Yeah, I think so. So anyway, I had the two of them beside each other in the living room last night or night before, I forget, and tore it apart. Yeah, it was last night. Tore it apart and swapped the boards. Actually, I tested it beforehand and it worked fine. So then I swapped the boards and it worked fine. The one I had got for $30 worked with the board I got for $60, $75, whatever it was. And so I'm keeping that one, and the stinky one's going now as a parts machine.
Yeah.
So now I have three of them. But one's a parts machine. And I just had my other HDMI VCR die about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't fixed it yet because I'm not sure what to do. There's far less parts ones of them out there of this other model, so it's not as easy to just order something. But this one's not powering on. It just won't power on anymore. But I can see the fan does a little twitch trying to spin.
Oh, okay.
So some kind of power capacitor
issue.
or something. It's probably a capacitor. Yeah.
Good luck tracking that down.
Yeah, I wish I had a working one beside it so I could compare them beside each other to see what's broken on it.
That's strange. The guy in Push Lynch would not do local pickup because I had someone. Well, I had a big item on eBay for sale,
Yeah.
which you helped me test because I had someone. Well, two stories actually. You've heard one of these already.
The other one you saved for the podcast.
Well, just you know the whole thing, but podcasts, So I found this. I don't even know what's it called.
Called a preamp.
A preamp. Okay, it's called.
Yeah.
It was a Carver C4000
Yeah.
preamp. Let's see if I can find my list.
As far as I could find from videos, and there's some really good YouTube videos about it. As far as I could find from videos, it's like the main purpose of that model is like in a studio to hear what your music would sound like if played live, basically, or through speakers. So you can emulate as if you're in a big building with that device. It has like a whole bunch of capacitors that delay the sound, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Was one of the main features of that model. It has obviously way more features than that. We saw it, but like that was one of the whatever flagship features of that model.
One of the main things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, Carver C4000 preamp. If you want to look up video, you can go ahead.
And it was from 1980 something. I thought
Something. Did we look at a date on it? Maybe you
I can't
did. But I
remember.
didn't.
Maybe I found someone who talked about what year theirs was from, but we couldn't find a date on yours. But it was either late 70s or early 80s, one of the two. And
Yeah, I'm
probably
not
maybe it
seeing
just
a
depends
date.
on the model or the serial number to determine when it was actually made. But
Yeah.
it was
So-
old.
It was old. Anyways, I found it in the garbage. So brought it home, plugged it in. Actually, I left it in my garage for I forgot about it. It was in there for like a month.
Beside the CRT TV.
And brought it, left it in there. It was a little bit muddy, so brought it in, cleaned it all up, plugged it in. The power came on. I couldn't really test it more than that, and I probably could have if I put my mind to it, but I was just like, it powers on. I don't really know these things really go bad that often. I've had a couple of like not necessarily preamps, but like just amps in general,
You had mixers as well.
mixers and stuff. Like anything I've had that I've pulled, like if it powers on, generally it works. If it doesn't power on, then there's a problem. So I powered it on, it worked, or turned on. So I listed it on eBay as like, hey, it powers on. That's all I know. But it's whatever price. And these things were going for like
What'd you
over.
put for condition? Did you put for parts or did you put it like?
I put it as used. I didn't. That's all I put
Okay.
it as. Yeah, because I couldn't.
There's a lot of people who will just take any electronics and say as is
Yeah.
because they don't
Parts-
want any of the risk.
parts,
Because yeah, as is for parts. Yeah.
So, anyways, I listed it like they're going, like I said, going for $600, $700, $800. Because I didn't know, I listed it pretty low. I listed it at like $500. And had a lot of watchers, and I had someone even message me, and we went back and forth. And this is all. He's one of these guys that like he types a sentence, then sends, then types a sentence, then sends, then types a sentence. So I'm getting like, so I'm getting eBay notifications and emails about my eBay notifications like 10 times, right? So that's 20 notifications for 10 messages. So and as I'm replying to him, I'm getting more information. So I start replying to those ones, but then he starts replying to my first message, and so all of our messages just start going like we have no idea what we're talking about anymore. So things get confused. He lived in the States. He wanted to buy it. I was like, it's going to be, and he wanted to know how much he was supposed to put in. Like, I'm in the U.S. What I want to make an offer, but he wanted me to include shipping in his offer. Shipping had to be included, and I explained, if you want it to be that amount, that's fine. I'll accept it. I cannot do it shipped because it's big and it's going to be expensive for me to ship. I can't take that hit. I could, I just don't want to.
Yeah. If you wanted to, you just reduce the price in the first place.
Exactly. And I am reducing the price because he wanted to pay less for it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, anyways, did the whole back and forth. I was like, it's going to be this much, put this much in, we're back and forth, back and forth. Finally, he puts the offer in. He pays for it, and then he messages me and says, whoa, like $600 and some dollars. Like, what happened? That's way too much. I want to cancel this. This is way too much money. That's not what we agreed to. I'm like, what? Okay, fine. And he's like, how much is it going to be?
eBay calculated shipping, right?
Yes, eBay calculated shipping. He's like, how much is it going to be? Like, I want this, but how much is it going to be with shipping? I'm like, the shipping, it's exactly what you paid. Nothing changes. I'm still accepting the offer. What you're asking me to do, I've done. And now you are upset because it's a different amount. Anyways, he figured out because he was in the US, he submitted it in Canadian dollars. He saw the total amount and assumed that his Canadian dollar amount was his US amount.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, that's way too much money. So he got so mad.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever. I was like, I canceled the order. Fine, you've canceled the order. And then he keeps messaging me about, well, what's going on? What did I get it? Oh, well, I guess it's fine. I'll take it. Looking forward to getting it. Wait, is it canceled? Did I buy it? Just back and forth. And I just wrote him a message, and I'm like, you wanted to cancel this. eBay dictates that if you request a cancellation, I now have to cancel it. If I haven't shipped it, I have to cancel it. This is all in like the space of an hour, like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Anyways, canceled it, and as soon as that was done, my policy on eBay is if I have any issues with buyers or anything like that, I immediately block them because I don't want to deal with them again.
Yep.
So blocked him, and I moved on. Although he was, even though it was refunded, he was able to leave me feedback. He gave me a neutral feedback.
It makes no sense. If it's refunded, why would he be able to give you feedback?
Yeah,
unless it's a positive one. That's the only reason why.
Who knows?
I had a good experience with this person. Sure, that makes sense, I guess.
Either way. Anyways, so then I had another guy message me and said, "Hey, I'm closer to you." He was about an hour away. He's like, "Would you do
Canada?"
In Canada, yeah. He's like, "Would you do local pickup if I come get it?" And I said, "Sure." So that's when I brought it over to you. We did the testing. He's just like, I just don't know if it works. I'm coming that way. It's a lot of money. I'd like to make sure it works before I pay for it. So we brought it over. We tested it out.
We tested every function we could.
Sent him a video of it
Everything
working.
but one.
Yeah. So yeah, he literally drove out an hour. He looked at it. I said it. He saw the video. Yeah, it works great. He asked if so I had it listed for 500. Oh, so my trick here, even this is, you're not supposed to sell outside of eBay, right? Like if someone contacts you on eBay to buy something and they want to do local pickup, they're still supposed to buy it through eBay and then do local pickup.
So eBay can get the fees.
So eBay can get fees. So what my typical response to this is, have a look at local listings and you may be able to find one locally. And that's all I say. And then I will go on to Facebook and I'll create an ad with the same eBay pictures. And then within 5 minutes, he was just like, hey. So the deal was done through Facebook and I got to keep the money. Oh, then he shows up. Like I said, had it listed at 500 on eBay and on Facebook. He shows up. He's like, would you take 300 for it? And I was like, I don't want. I was like,
that's a big jump for.
But he
driving
drove
all
an
that
hour.
way.
I'm just like, he's not gonna
be like, nah, 600, dude. You drove all this way.
In my head, I'm just like,
lowball me.
In my head, I'm just like, I don't have to deal with this guy ever again, right? Like, he's accepting it as is. It's a Facebook deal. I would be paying eBay fees regardless. So I'm like, in my head, I'm just like, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I'll meet you at 400. Like, we'll split it. Like 400 bucks.
That's probably what I would have done too.
And he was like, yep, totally happy with that. And then he
just
pulled
a part of me wants to say, no. Yeah. He pulled out 500.
He pulled $500 in 20s out, and then pulled 5 of them off, and then handed me. I'm like, he came prepared. He knew. So I should have said 450. But whatever.
Wow. Whatever. You got $400 for
$400
driving to my house and testing a piece of equipment.
Yeah, that was a good deal. Other than that, I've been selling quite a lot on eBay. Actually, had one of my busier months.
Nothing.
I know. We need to have another eBay challenge to get you motivated.
Yeah, right.
Because you don't have anything to sell.
I have lots to sell. I just, no. I do. I don't want to. I don't have lots to sell. I just have some stuff to sell. Mostly stuff that's been sitting around for years. Kind of like that Furby. The creepy Furby with the rubber face.
Yeah. You should sell
rubber
that.
toes. Yeah. I should. I have no idea if it's still worth anything or not.
Yeah, I've been selling a couple guitars, some GameCube games, some PSP stuff. Some DVDs and Blu-rays, actually. Been doing pretty good on those. I had these are things that you can't really find. I found an anime Blu-ray DVD set called Blood Sea: The Last Dark. Found that for $6 at Value Village, and I sold it last night for $95. So that was nice. That went to the States. And then I had another one. Oh, this one was even better. It is a Cartoon Network show called Over the Garden Wall. The voices, I believe, are like Elijah Wood and Christopher Lloyd, maybe. I forget.
Okay.
Anyways, you can watch the whole thing for free on YouTube. Anyways, I found the Blu-ray set at Value Village. It's a PAL import from the UK. I don't think it was released in the US at all. So you can only buy it in the UK.
Okay.
I think I bought it again. It was like $6. Yeah, $6, $6 or $7 at Value Village, and I sold it 2 days ago. I shipped it yesterday for $250.
Oh Jesus!
Just for a Blu-ray set.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, Blu-ray set. I
Are
see
you?
it. Of course, I'm looking it up.
Of course you are. I see your eyes just going.
Because a beat goes on, it shows in stock, but I'm assuming that's DVD. I don't even remember how to check that anymore.
DVD is
Number
not
of
as
discs 1. You said it was
It's
a
not a-
set?
I don't know what's in it. It was sealed. I couldn't look inside it. So
Oh. Weird. Cartoon Network Over the Walled Garden. $12.99. Sorry, Over the Garden Wall.
On
Yeah.
Blu-ray?
It doesn't say it's Blu-ray or DVD. That's the weird
Oh,
part.
strange.
They have it used as well in DVD.
I don't believe the
No, it's
DVD is
sold out.
worth.
Yeah. I
Probably
think
worth
this one's actually
15.
new because it doesn't say used. And it's not in a store, it's online store. Anyway, this is great listening for everybody, but
Yeah, we can do this after. Just leave it up. Leave it up in your tabs. We'll talk after.
if it's the DVD, it's not worth it. I'm assuming that carries no value.
Sold a Guitar Hero Explorer controller for $165.
It's crazy. It's actually crazy. I
Yep.
gave you several.
You, I'm slowly going through them. Some of them are not working. Some of them are working.
Yeah,
I would like to find a way to like.
intermittent problems.
Yeah, I'd like to find a way to like take. Sometimes it's like one button's not working. I'd like to like take a
Yep.
button off the other one and put it on that one.
Oh, I could do that, no problem.
Don't know how.
Yeah, that's easy.
I've only opened up one guitar and I haven't gone further than that. We'll see. Got some stuff.
Yeah. You know what you should do is work it down until you have only broken ones left. Mark off which buttons don't work when you test it, and then we
Yeah.
just do some button swapping. All at one time. Try and get as many working ones as you can, depending on how many buttons you have.
Yeah. Because I don't think the button matters as long as whatever
No,
one's
I
it
don't-
in, right?
It shouldn't, as long as it's easy to get to. As long as it's not like plastic melted in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes they have tabs that they melt to get stuff to stay in. You can always hot glue or super glue that, but
Yeah. Epoxy.
yeah, well, it takes longer to dry.
But at least it's more permanent than super glue.
Sometimes super glue is pretty good.
Yeah.
And hot glue, you
Depends
can
on
just
the
put
screw.
lots on there. I told you about the mini disc player that I got for free.
Yes, not on the podcast.
I sent
on
you
the
a
podcast,
picture.
but
Yeah. I sent you a picture. I said it was your fault, but I got it for free on a Facebook group that they were giving away stuff. There was a bunch of people who wanted it after me, but I went and got it like right away, the middle of the day one day, and it doesn't work.
Hey.
So now I have another pile of broken stuff started of mini disc now.
Oh, love
It
it.
came with discs, and they have what's clearly their collection of discs they used to listen to when they were a kid, like in high school or something,
Yeah.
because some of them
Oh,
have
that's cool.
labels on them. One of them just says comedy.
It'd be cool. I had one somewhere. I still haven't found it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked that hard either, but I would love to find
Well,
it.
I'm keeping my eye open for one, but I already have been doing that for 20 years. So
Yeah. I should ask my dad if he still has the one I used to listen to. He might still
Yeah.
have that somewhere.
I think we already said that you were going to do that.
I think I said that I had one. So I had one that I bought at like Value Village, however long
Yeah.
ago.
I thought I remember
that's not the
talking
one-
about you asking your dad too.
That was his, right?
Yeah.
That he had, but it's the one that I bought was separate. So I think my dad might still have the one that I used when I was a kid.
There's like a set top one for sale in town that's like $350. But it's meant to go like in a stereo cabinet with your speakers all hooked up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. But I don't really want to get into mini disc, but I would like to try it just to see.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the software still works. Everybody seems to imply that it does when I was Googling it, but otherwise you record 1-to-1, which sucks.
What I used to do. Well, you get mini disc and VHS for free. I actually got video games for free.
What? In the garbage?
No, on Facebook. Someone posted. They had. Let's see if the good ones. Not all the good ones are here. Anyway, someone posted PS3 games free. That's all it said, free. And every time I see free, I'm just like, yeah, they have them priced individually in the ad.
Yeah.
They always do. So I clicked on the ad. I always click on it because in the off chance, like this one, it literally just said, don't play these anymore. Come and get them free. And I messaged right away. I'm just like, is this available? I can pick up tonight. Like,
Yep.
just straight up. And it was a very chipper girl, I will say, who's just like, yeah, dude, so, totally free. Yeah, totally. And this, like, writing this out, right? Like, yeah, dude, totally free. Come over whenever, dude. You know? I was like, cool, like, whatever. And then, like, immediately after, it's just like, whoa, I'm getting swamped with messages of people who want this. And I was like, scam, maybe? Scam, maybe? And then it was just like, well, you're lucky, dude. Come and grab them whenever. I'm like,
Nice.
oh, you're actually gonna hold them for me, sweet. So I was like, I gotta put my kids to bed, and then I'll be over. Gave me an address. Went and picked it up. It was a Staples, like, you know, the paper box that they would come.
The banker's
in?
box, like, style?
Like a
Yeah.
banker box, but it was like
Yeah.
full of that paper. It was one of those, just filled with PS3 games.
And there was no picture.
There was a
the ad.
picture.
Oh, there
a
was,
picture of the
okay.
games.
So you had an idea of what games there were, or you could
Yeah.
see them all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got this is half of the games.
I'm not seeing good games.
There's the
Rayman. I see where the top.
Ratchet
yeah,
and Clank collection up here.
Yeah. Oh, I
which
see
I've-
the collection. I didn't see. Yep. Oh, I
have
see
it.
you've priced them already.
I've priced them. Priced them, ready to go. So, and then there's also the Jack and Daxter collection. The other pile
Yep.
over there.
Gotcha. Okay.
I
You
was
didn't
like,
put all the good ones in that one.
No, I kept a couple actually. Deus Ex.
That makes it all legit in my books. You kept a couple. That means you were going to pick it up for yourself.
Exactly. So I kept the ones that were like, oh, these ones I will add to my collection. The ones that she said, she's like, oh, these ones were my favorite. It had like Fear 2 and 3. She's like, I love Fear 2 and 3. You should play those. I'm like, okay, good.
Oh.
So I took those. I put them in my collection. Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2 HD remaster on PS3, like the limited like collector's edition, which is nice. Deus Ex Augmented Edition, which I don't have on any system, so it's a nice set. Put that in. Yeah, nice. I added like out of the whole stack, probably like 6 or 7 games to my collections, and the rest can move on. So
Cool.
it's a pretty sweet deal. And then tonight, this is pickup show and tell time, I think. Tonight I went out. Someone posted some $5 games for PS4, so I was like, oh, I'll grab those. And then I was looking through the rest of their ads, which I always forget to do when I find cheap games. I always forget to click and see what else they
I
have.
don't usually forget, but I'm better about it on Kijiji than Facebook.
Okay, and I don't check Kijiji anymore, so
Oh, I still have automated searches. I'm going to grab something while you're talking.
while I'm showing.
Yeah.
So he had $5 games and some $10 games. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take those $5 games, and there's a couple $10 games I wanted. So I was like, I'll take all of them. It was gonna be $40 for all of them. So I said, would you take 30 for all of them instead? And he said, well, the one game is on hold, so I'll do 25 for the rest of them. I was like, all right. So, and he'll let me know. He's like, oh, they're pending. I'm like, pending for how long?
Yeah.
I'm like, are they coming on like Monday? Because I'm here now and I have cash. Like- and he was just like, he's buying a bunch of games. So he's like, if he was just going to get the one game, I would totally just give it to you. But he's getting a bunch. So I'm like, all right, understandable. If he doesn't show up, like, let me know. I'll come back. He's like, all right. So I'm going to show you the $10 games first, because honestly, they're probably worse than the $5 games. But ones I wanted to add anyway. Borderlands 3.
Okay.
Whatever.
That's a game I would play if I had someone to play with.
Co-op. It is a co-op game.
Yeah, I've played it with Kevin and I forget who else. Somebody. There's a couple people we played online, and it was fun. But
Yeah.
I just they don't play very often. I think it was a 1-time or 3-time thing.
Far Cry 6. I'm gonna try that one. Let's see. I gotta play Far Cry.
I saw that on sale
3
on
and 4.
Steam this week.
And
I
then
think it was 5. It was 5 on sale.
Blood and Truth. PSVR. Do you have this
I've
one?
actually played that for. I played that for about 5 minutes and then didn't have time to continue
Oh,
it, and haven't played it since.
You have it on Steam or?
I believe so.
Okay.
No, sorry, I have it on PS4.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I just can't remember if I have it on disc or if I played just the demo.
So I have this. I bought this digitally, but I was like for $5. So these were the Far Cry and Borderlands were the $10 games. Blood and Truth was $5. I'm like, I'll take that. I have it digitally, but whatever. For $5, someone will want it. Maybe I can sell it for 10, and then I get all the rest of the game for $15, which would be sick. Oh, he's pulling a game out of his. You should just move your desk back there so you can.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got it. And then I got this because I remember you and I talking about it, and you saying that you beat this. This is one of the few games that you've beaten.
Just Cause 4?
No. Man-Eater.
Oh, Maneater. Is that a great
Yeah.
game? Oh, it's such a good game. I'd play that right now.
$5.
Yeah, I would go play that right now.
$5. Remember when that guy was trying to sell me on the Switch version of this? And you're like, you should play that. I'm like, yes, but I'm not going to play Man-Eater on Switch.
It's a little arcadey. It would be fine on Switch, but
I
it
want
looks
the graphics,
way better
though.
on something better.
I
Yeah.
want the graphics.
Oh, it's such a
For
good
the game like that, I want the graphics. All right. Couple more
It's just
pickups.
they make it fun and they make it rewarding. There were challenges, but it was doable.
That's what I want. I want something
Yeah,
that's
me too. And I can never find it.
No, you're just too picky.
Yes.
Gaming stuff. Okay, so I don't know if you know about these things. I got these things on AliExpress. I've been on AliExpress.
Oh, jeez.
These things. These are called the Data Frog SF2000.
Okay. That sounds
Now
like
I
a Steven
Sounds-
Eider special.
It is. This is a Steven Eider special. He would love
Yeah,
this.
for sure.
It comes games included. There's like 1,500 games on here.
Okay.
No. Sorry, according to the sticker, 11,000 games.
Ooh, that's because they copy and pasted 15
Yeah,
times.
Okay, it's not great. How much do you think I spent for this on this from AliExpress?
Can I see how thick
Nope.
it is? Let's see how thick it is. It's decent. It's like an SNES controller, but thicker.
A little bit thicker. It's got a nice
Yeah, I mean-
a bump on the back of it.
I don't know. I hope you didn't spend more than like $40 on it.
Okay.
Like if I bought that, I'd be like, okay, $20 maybe for my kid in the car.
That's what I spent $20 on it.
Okay.
They are going for 30 to 40. Like if you can buy these on Amazon for $40.
Okay, because someone's reselling them.
Yeah. But AliExpress had them on sale for they were as cheap as $18 at some point, but they were slowly going up, and I got some for 20. So I bought more than one.
How many is more than one? Is
I-
that what those
so-
boxes behind you are? I see
These
3M
giant
boxes behind you
3M
full of stuff. Was that what those are? I bought 600 of them.
Oh, I'm gonna make so much money. I can double my money from 20 to $40 each. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I bought 3 of them.
Okay.
So here's my thinking. I want to mess around with one anyway because I've been messing around with these cheap emulation things. I have the Anbernic, like I showed you, this one, and I have anytime I go to like a family function, I usually take my Anbernic because it's like the Game Boy. I can just throw it in my pocket. It's super pocketable, which is nice. But then my niece and my nephew are always stealing it, and they're always off in the corner playing, and then they're fighting over. I want to play with it. I want to play with it, and their parents, like my brother-in-law. I have a visitor as well. Uh-oh. Oh, is this from you?
I don't know what you're talking about. You can wait to finish your story first.
Okay, I'll finish my story first. Okay.
Thank you, Melissa.
Derek says thank you. Yeah. He's not gonna stay anyway. All right. Well, thank you. We'll get to this in a second. All right. My brother-in-law and my sister-in-law. This is the sister-in-law I don't get along with.
I was gonna ask if this is the butt sister-in-law. Butt
Yeah,
crack?
yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Just but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
they're like super outdoorsy. Like they let them play video games, but it's like, nah, I don't want them playing video games. I don't want them doing stuff,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
So as soon as they start arguing about video games, they like quickly like, nope, turn it off. No one gets it. Turn it off. No one plays. So in my mind, I'm just like, for $20,
I can make her really mad at me.
I can get them each one and it would be like perfect for a Christmas gift. Like
Yeah.
perfect.
I was gonna say birthdays would be cool. I don't know if you do birthday gifts for these kids or not, but
We don't-
birthday would be cool, but it's staggered so that it causes fighting.
That's the thing.
So
That's the
Christmas
thing.
is good.
Like
'cause it's
Christmas
the
is
same
perfect.
time.
I'm like, I've already got them set for next, because like last Christmas, we gave them like, we didn't know what to buy them, so we just
Okay.
literally just gave them a Christmas card with $20 cash. You can go buy whatever you want.
Okay.
So I'm spending the same amount, but this
Yep.
one I can go through, and what I'm gonna do is like, I'm gonna curate the games more rather than giving them 11,000 games.
I wasn't sure if it was something you can change or not. Like remove games.
It's all
add
on an
games.
SD card. Yep, you can
Okay.
just pull it off and put whatever games you want on and on, on and
So all
off.
the Peep and Tom nudie games you can remove.
Yeah. So
Save them for yourself.
yeah. Anyways, I was messing around with it. The Game Boy Advance is like 50-50. Some of the games work really well and some of them are a little bit slow. But like Game Boy Color worked well, Game Boy worked fine. Some of the most of the Super Nintendo stuff worked fine. Anything heavy, not great. Arcade worked really well.
Nice.
The MAME stuff worked really nice on it.
So you're gonna
I'm
go
like,
through 15,000 games and try and figure out what's good.
yeah. So like I might
Is
just
there
leave.
is there a favorites short list or something like
Yep,
that?
you can favorite stuff.
That's nice.
So-
That's nice. With that
but,
many games, you need that.
So it's just gonna be really easy just to, I can curate, here's all the Mario games, here's the Donkey Kong games, here's the, games I think would be fun for you.
Mortal Kombat.
So-
Wait,
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't know how old these kids are, but my son and my nephew love Mortal Kombat.
So
Cool.
yeah.
So
There you go.
you got me a surprise gift.
You
You have
did.
more talking about with that?
I have one more to show.
Oh, okay.
before we-
Okay.
I told two
Yeah,
more
yeah.
to show.
Yes, you did say you did a bunch of AliExpress shopping.
Well, these are on AliExpress, but okay.
Oh.
One quick thing. This is not
Wish
that big.
Wish.com.
I bought a 3D Blu-ray, Dune 3D.
Dune.
Because the
I still
second Dune
haven't
2 is
seen
coming
that.
out
Yeah, I did hear that.
next
Still haven't
week,
seen
and
that.
I'm gonna go next weekend to the theater. and
Next
watch that.
week. Oh, jeez. I kind of want to. I ought to go back and watch the old one,
No, you don't.
and then the new one.
Okay. So
And what about Children of Doom? Never, not worth watching.
I haven't watched that one, so probably not.
Oh.
Okay, last thing. I went and I finally got I mentioned it 2 months ago. Last month I forgot to mention it. Or it came shortly after, just before or just after, I forget. Anyways,
Okay.
this showed up.
This is the one you ordered last time we
This
talked
is the
about.
one I ordered. Do you remember the name?
Yeah. No, I don't remember the
Okay.
name of it.
It looks like a Switch Lite, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
a Retroid Pocket 4.
Okay.
So it's got
Yes.
like active cooling. It's got analog triggers on the back.
So hopefully it emulates better.
It emulates very nicely. The problem with this, so this wasn't cheap, right? Like it was all said and done after shipping, it was like 200 and some Canadian.
Okay.
But I got a case with it and stuff. I should have bought. There's also a grip you could have got with it.
Yeah,
I
because the
should have
size
got
of it.
that. I should have got that.
Maybe we could.
That
3D print
makes it
one.
less pocketable. This is smaller than a Switch Lite, so it does fit in my pocket, which is nice. As is.
Retroid Pocket.
Retroid Pocket 4. It's the same size as Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, but
Mm.
it is way more powerful than those.
I'm
The
just
problem
wondering
is that-
if the case is 3D printable.
Oh, the grip?
Yeah.
Yeah, could be. Anyways,
Yep.
it is Android based, so there's a lot of setup involved with it. So that's the one downside. I like the Anbernic because it literally shows up and it's got an SD card in it already, and it's just full of games, and you can just literally turn it on and just start playing. And it has 2 SD card slots. You could just put another one in with your games on it and just plays them. And whereas the Retroid Pocket 4 is trying to be a little bit more legitimate, so it's just an Android tablet with controls attached to it, and have fun. So it does kind of walk you through the setup process of what emulators it wants you to do or suggest and things like that. So I did my initial setup first by myself. Wasn't getting super great results with it, so then I went back and started watching some videos of how to set it up. I don't know if you watch Russ from Retro Game Core, but
Don't remember.
he's been my go-to.
Oh,
I'm
Russ.
not even subscribed to him. Actually, I might be subscribed to him now because I ended up just watching like almost everything he's put out about Retroids and Renix, all
Russ
that kind of stuff.
Lyman, you're talking about?
No, it's Retro Game Core, like Retro Game CORPS. He is like, you would love him because
Sounds
he's like
familiar.
super detailed about like performance and chipsets and very like super clean.
I've never watched him. I don't recognize him, but
super good videos, and they're nice and long form. Like it kind of shows you everything you need to know. And he said if you're getting the Retroid Pocket 4, he's like, go and watch my Retroid Pocket 3 setup guide and use that.
oh, okay.
So
6
I did
days
that
ago, he did a
setup.
Retroid Pocket 4 best $150 handhelds right now video.
Yeah. So there's that, and then just recently he released a Retroid Pocket 4 setup guide. So I'm gonna do that, and then he just released another video saying Emulation Station is now supported on Android.
Saw that. Yep.
So he's just like, do that. He's like, set up everything and then put on. So I spent more time setting this up than I've actually had time playing with it because there's so many options. It's mind-boggling. I like it, but I just need to get it set up properly, and then once it's done, it's
you'll just keep setting it up and setting it up and setting
so
it up and
many
never playing it.
things. But
Just
it is
never
fun.
play it.
It actually came in handy because the other day my oldest was playing Minecraft, and my youngest is also into Minecraft, and they both can't play Minecraft at the same time. Although unless one of them comes down and plays on PS4. But then my wife has to come and set it up for them, and she's not super comfortable with everything down here because there's HDMI switchers and inputs. And
That's why my switcher's automatic now.
listen, I'm not rich like you, okay? I can only afford HDMI to AV adapters. That's all I can afford.
But you're buying all these handhelds. The cost of the handheld, you could have bought my HDMI switcher.
Anyways, so I was like, wait, I'm like, this thing is literally just Android based. So you can just go in the App Store. I have like $40 in Google credit. I just bought Minecraft on my Retroid Pocket 4 for like $10. Here. And then he could just play it on there. Because I even considered like I have Minecraft on the Vita as well. So I'm like, I could break out the Vita version and he could play that one. And they're both handheld. But I don't believe there's cross play between those two platforms.
No.
So I was just like,
isn't.
but if I get it on Android, it's probably cross-platform between Android and Switch. They both made me sign into my Xbox account, so
Android and Switch. I didn't think it was, but I thought
as long as it's Bedrock Edition, it should work.
Oh, see, I've never had Android Bedrock Edition. I've only had Android Java Edition.
Okay. So
Other than that, I
We'll
think
see.
all Bedrocks should work together, I thought. But then again, Switch is also pay Switch Online. But you do that now, right?
Yeah, I do the Switch Online.
Yeah. I forgot. I don't, so that holds me up.
You could have, but you have.
My son has it. Yeah. My son has it. Like my mother got it for him for Christmas. So we can't sign on to yours because I'm a parent to my children and they have children accounts. So it wouldn't let me sign up on your family account.
Story. Anyways, that's my pickup corner. It's been a lot of stuff.
All right.
I have more stuff, but I will show you after.
Well, you have another pickup right in front of you.
And a pickup I don't even know what it is. Oh
Yeah, that's the best part. So you bought me a random surprise gift a couple episodes ago. So I thought I have to pay you back somehow.
Oh jeez.
And this was my way of doing such a thing. And there's a story that goes along with this.
Do I need a story before or after?
After.
I feel card stock. A receptacle tester, very good to have. Yes, and a voltage detector. I know
And a
the story
voltage
behind
detector.
this now.
The story is your story is the reason why the story has to be after. Because Josh has a
Thank
story
you.
that he doesn't want to tell.
Oh, I can tell it. Short.
But were
short-
you planning on telling it?
Oh, probably. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm good at talking about stories when I'm an idiot.
They're just so plentiful.
The reason I have a receptacle tester and a voltage detector, one of those pen, for those audio listeners, it's like a pen voltage detector. The reason I have these is because I electrocuted myself trying to install a light. The person who we bought this house from wired up different things to make them work. And so our laundry room light, a lot of laundry room talk
Yeah.
in this episode. The light above it had these stupid fluorescent circle bulbs that are like $16 a piece, and I've already had to replace 2 of them, and another one went out. I'm just like, I'm not doing this. I'll replace that one, and then the other one will go out. So a Costco had like LED shop lights for $40, but they were plug-in. So I was like, I'm just gonna buy that, and it's way brighter than the ones that were in there. And so I just had to change the direct light, whatever wire box the light was in, to a receptacle so that I could plug in the shop light.
Yep.
Me being an amateur electrician at best, I was like,
Without the right equipment.
Without the right equipment, I'm just like, I'm like, there's a switch. So if the switch is turned off, that should break the connection. There shouldn't be any live wires going to there because it's turned off. Correct? Am I?
That's that's the way it works for me.
Okay, so I'm not completely stupid. I'm just like, this should work fine. I shut the light off. I had like my headlamp on. I pulled the light down. I pulled the light box off. I undid some wires. One wire had one of these like Moret connectors that had a screw, like a locking screw. So I'm like, oh, I need to take that off. So I went to grab it and undo it, and next thing you know, I'm on a 2-step step ladder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm reaching and I grabbed it and I go to undo the thing, and next thing you know, I'm standing on the floor. Like it happened so fast. I'm like, oh, what? I'm like, oh, I just got electrocuted. I didn't fall. I literally just stepped down. And it wasn't like I grabbed it. It was more like I just touched it. It was enough just to touch it, and it was like, zzz.
Yep.
So,
because if you grabbed it, you'd still be standing there.
Probably, yeah. I lost feeling in my finger for the better part of 2 or 3 days. Couldn't. It was what my friend Craig calls a nice electrical burn. So apparently it's wired incorrectly and against code, but it works. So I immediately called. Craig was an apprentice to be an electrician. He has wired up several houses before he decided to go in a different direction. So I just called him and I'm just like, dude, get over here and help me fix this because I have no light in my laundry room and I'm too afraid to touch anything now. So he came over that night and we fixed it. And I don't know the whole thing, but basically there's a hot running all the way through, and then basically the switch just changes the easy path of electricity to then go through the light.
Okay.
But there was a constant live hot wire going through there.
I know electrical, but only DC. I don't know AC. I don't know house stuff well enough.
Yeah.
I could figure it out, but I just never ever bothered to figure it out. Yeah.
Well,
I want to, but
just call Craig. He'll come help you out. If you need
just
it.
watch 3 YouTube videos and I'll know it all. It'll be fine.
And
I
also
assume it's basically wired as if it's a double switch, but there's no second switch or something like that. That's what I'm picturing it to be similar to.
No idea. This is all I'm just like, I know, okay, negative, positive, ground, done. I can do those things.
But
I've done
technically,
that before.
with AC, there is no negative positive. That's the thing.
Whatever. It's just what I call it.
Yeah, yeah,
Hot, neutral, and ground.
yeah. That's as far as I know, and I know that AC goes positive, negative. It flip flops between them,
Okay.
as opposed to DC, where you've got positive voltage and you send it to ground. That's it. AC, the voltage actually shifts back and forth along the line. Yeah.
Goodness, two things. Well, thank you very much. I will add them to my toolbox. Will get used.
Yeah, that plug one might actually help you with your plugs that are all wired wrong in the house.
I'm gonna plug it into the one there and see why it is.
So it has little lights on it. I'm telling mostly the viewers.
Yeah.
It has little lights on it. You plug it into a plug, electrical plug, and it lights up telling you whether it's wired right, wrong, no ground, reverse polarity, all that kind of things that you could have wrong.
Yeah.
Tells you what's wrong with it. So he'll have lots of fun finding all the wrong outlets.
I remember, when we bought the house, we had a home inspector come in, and he had one of these, and he checked all the outlets. And I remember the one by our patio door had reverse polarity. They were in the wrong. And so that's been fixed. I know that. But this will help me when I put my own plugs in, because I'm probably going to have to do it again at some point. Because now I'm looking at lights. I'm like, I could change that light. I don't like that light. I could change that.
Take that detector one around and just wave it near things to get a feel for how it works.
Yeah.
Because you can get, some of them are really sensitive and you could be far away and it'll start detecting. Other ones you have to get like right in the socket before it starts detecting voltage. So just see how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll play around.
Yeah, play around before the wires are live and bare.
What fun is that? Well, you talk about something. I've been talking a lot. You talk.
Wait, I don't know. I don't have much more. I have movies and stuff, and I have something else that we did, and then the ABC challenge updates. That we talked about that. People have been talking.
Well, before we get too far, how's my challenge to you going?
Which one?
The N64 challenge.
Non-existent. I was thinking about it the other day. I'm just like, it's GoldenEye month. I could play GoldenEye for Cartridge Club.
You could.
But I think it's longer to beat than I want.
Not that long. You could play it on easy and just fly through it. According to Rocket Sauce,
8.5 hours on main story. Who has 8.5 hours to play games? I don't have 8.5 hours to play games in a month. Let alone.
So you just split it up. Again, I'm going to do one level a night and just be done with it. Do one level, and it's like you do that over the course of however long it takes, and just be done. You don't have to do it all by the end of February. But
I don't remember if I ever beat that game or not.
I've never beaten it. I've gotten somewhere near halfway, maybe, but that's as far as I got. I should go back and play it. I was watching Rocket Sauce stream.
I wanted to, but every time he does, I'm not able to watch. Something else is going on.
He was saying, like, if you play it on Agent, he's like, you could breeze through it. So I may just do that. Because I have the N64 version. I have the Nintendo Switch version. I have the Xbox version on Rare Replay. A lot of versions. And I have GoldenEye Reloaded on the Xbox 360.
Unfortunately, I have to play mine on N64.
Yes, you do. You don't have to use the real cartridge. You can use your...
Well, I have the real cartridge, but
okay.
Yeah,
well,
I'd probably use the other one for convenience sake because it's already in the N64. I can't remember if I played this level or not, or played these missions or not.
Do it.
Just checking through the pictures of from a walkthrough to see if I've played. I swear I have. Because you can't get to those the building with like the level with like the suspension bridge and the wires from. You can't get to that without having played single player. It's not a multiplayer map. Anyway, doesn't matter. This isn't GoldenEye talk, but that was one thing that went through my head was like, oh, it is GoldenEye month. And 64 challenge. What was your other challenge? I don't remember. There's ABC
That was it.
challenge.
ABC
and
challenge, yeah.
You also challenged me to make you a Nicolas Cage helmet on my 3D
Yes.
printer, which I started messing around with, but the model that I have for Nicolas Cage's head is just so detailed that all the programs I normally use for printing or for editing models are like, nah, man, this is too big. We can't fuck with this. We're not letting you import this model, let alone edit it. So I fired up Blender, like Blender for making video game models, and
Okay.
opened the model in that and found a way to make it like lower poly. And I was able to use that to get it to export smaller file and then import that into my one tool. But of course, when I made it low poly, it made holes in the surfaces. So it's like, okay, now I gotta fix surfaces. This is tedious and not what I wanted to do. So that was yesterday's challenge that I did not finish because it was taking forever. It was actually freezing the program because it was so much detail. So yeah, that's probably going to go nowhere.
That's funny.
So then today my wife mentioned she wants another 3D printed ring holder. I 3D printed her one years ago, and she said she'd like one. And I said, "What do you want for it? Do you want like a hand?" She's like, "Yeah, that'd be great." So of course I found a model, but it's like the hand and half the arm. And it's going to take 10 hours to print. I'm like, okay, maybe I can just reduce it to the wrist and the hand and see how long that's going to take. But of course, that requires manually editing the model.
Of course.
So-
Everything does.
Yeah. So I started doing that before supper, right after work, and I didn't finish because who has time for anything?
Of course. Nobody.
Yeah, it's great.
That grip you sent me would work. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I'm just debating whether I print it with hard plastic or soft plastic. I have some
Ooh.
soft, like flexible plastic.
How flexible?
Not as flexible as a rubber band. I don't know.
I'm thinking comfort. Would flexible be more comfortable to hold?
I kind of think it is.
All right. Well,
Yeah. I just don't want it to not grab on. So I have
those handles
our
are
vacuums.
huge though. We don't need handles that big.
Are they that huge? I thought they were like
They like that. That picture is pretty big.
that looks fine. The switch or the device itself is so small.
Let me look at the.
Designed from scratch, cut out for a fan and back, slot for speakers, holes for headphone jack and charging cable. No supports needed, which is nice. 15% infill. He printed it with TPG plastic, which I don't have, but I'm thinking about doing the flexible plastic. It's just I have so on our Dyson vacuum, we have a thing attached to it to hold the other tips, so you can change the tips out. I 3D printed a holder that goes around the like shaft of the vacuum, and it keeps breaking because the kids are not careful when they pull the things out. So I printed it in this flexible plastic, and the thing's so flexible it doesn't hold anything. So I don't know if the flexible plastic is going to be too flexible to hold the device in.
Ah, I see.
That's the only thing I worry about, is that it's too flexible.
There's the link I sent you has a grip in the select add-ons. You'll see it there
Yeah,
at the
I'm
top.
waiting for the page to load.
That's what I'm saying when I see the grips on the ones you showed me. Like, the grips are massive compared to those ones.
Yeah, well, I could also modify them.
Because I don't need
But-
handles way down. I just want to have something more to grip too.
It's just so small. That's all I was thinking.
Anyways,
And it's already done.
podcast.
It's probably easier to just print the way it is. Yeah, great podcast material. I might just print it a regular plastic, see how it goes.
What else were we talking about?
Well, color plastic. I have black,
Whatever,
white,
whatever.
and silver.
Oh, probably just black. Whatever you have the most of.
Wow. Black and white are the most. I also have flexible transparent, regular transparent, wood grain, like actual wood.
Oh,
Yeah, like it literally as it's melting, like I can still smell it here because I printed a long thing today. I printed a headphone holder for work,
okay.
and it actually has like wood shavings or wood chips in the plastic. It's pretty freaking cool.
That's cool.
So I have a Nicolas Cage head. Actually, that's right here. So I have a Nicolas Cage head in wood that I showed you the other day. I don't know if you noticed that one was wood.
Yes, I did.
This bag won't open. So I have 3 of them here. I have a black Nicolas Cage head here, which you've seen before. I have a silver Nicolas Cage head here. And then I have a wood Nicolas Cage head. It did some weird stuff on the print on this one at this spot, so his face looks weird, but yeah.
Looks like Scarface just there.
Yeah. It just needs to be sanded a little bit or something because the printer did some weird thing on that layer. Yeah. And then I have a flexible plastic one as well, but it's over on the other side of the room. But it's not flexible enough because I printed it too thick.
You need to get the. Is it who made it? Was it Wilson? I just saw MKBHD posted about it. They've 3D
Oh, the
printed a
basketball.
basketball.
Yeah.
That looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I bet you that's already all over the 3D printing design sites.
But to get the flexibility, the fact that he could bounce a basketball and this thing beside each other, and they both bounce the same height.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what's
curious what they used for that. I'm very curious what plastic they used, but I would assume it's just.
He was saying what it was like $1,500 for that thing.
Doesn't make sense.
Well, maybe that's
probably
all their prototyping or whatever.
Here
Yeah,
we
they
go.
include
Airless basketball. Someone does have a model of it, so it's a work in progress.
That's cool.
Curious. I am curious if I could make my own. Not that I need a basketball, and not that my printer really is big enough for a basketball. Like, maybe
Just scale it.
maybe.
Scale it down.
Oh, I know, but then what's the
Yeah.
point?
It's still cool. It's still cool to throw around.
All right.
Well, I've been playing
What
some
else?
games. You've been playing games? Playing any games?
Not
Not N64
really,
games,
no.
clearly, but have you played any?
No, I don't. I don't think I've played. My
Other than
daughter
Fortnite?
and I actually had. So because my son went to a birthday party tonight, my daughter and I played Goat Simulator 3. She asked to play that because I have it and we've played it before. She said, "Let's play Goat Simulator 3 multiplayer." So we played that, sit on the couch, and it was a lot of fun. Kids always enjoy that.
Yeah. Good time.
I don't think I've even played much Fortnite since we last talked. Maybe the first week after the podcast recording, but
That's fair.
no.
Oh,
We did actually play some what's it called? Wow.
Wow.
What's it called? The one where you cook
We didn't
together.
play WoW.
Yeah, not World of Warcraft, no. But my coworkers keep talking about it. Not cooking. Why can't I think of it? The one where you cook together, you got to take
Overcooked?
turns. Overcooked 2. I played with wife and kids
Okay.
just 2 days ago, I think. Yeah, they suggested we play something together, or my wife did, and I figured out Overcooked was a good one. I think my wife actually remembered that I had it and fired it up, so we had a lot of fun. My kids are at an age that's good for that now. My daughter still struggles a little bit with like what to do next and how to fill your time, and
Yeah.
my son keeps thinking he's helping but not helping by throwing meat at us.
That's
You need
me.
meat. Well,
That's what I
we've
do.
got enough. We've got enough meat now. Move on to something else.
Now you need more meat.
Go wash dishes. Oh, okay. And then he just keeps throwing meat. Yeah. But it was fun.
I mean, friends, had, I think maybe it was the night I got electrocuted. So Craig was here. We had to do some stuff, and it was like, oh, we could play a game. And so I break out. It's hard to like. Okay, we got to pick something to play, right? We're gonna do this, and I get that choice paralysis when I look at my games behind me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much.
Yep.
I'm like, what can I? And I also have to be picky. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to curate my selection to something whoever is there will enjoy. You can't
Oh,
just throw
yeah.
anything.
I know all about that.
Ugh. So I'm like, okay, what's like
I enjoy it when
simple?
I'm not under pressure.
That's the
It's
thing.
when
It's
I'm under pressure and everyone's like, what do you want to play? That I don't like, but if I have time to plan in advance, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, like when you came over, like, oh, we'll fix the arcade and we can play games after. And then we just
And then
stared
we-
at my collection and we're
yeah.
like,
Yep. Yep. When we realized we didn't have enough time to watch a movie.
yeah.
Yep.
So we spent the rest of the time just staring at games.
And talking. We talked about your collection too. That's good.
Yeah. So I was like, something simple. So I ended up I bought the Green Lava Studios Volume 1 from Limited Run Games like 3 years ago. You could only buy it on April 1st. They released it as an April Fool's joke. And in it includes My Name is Mayo. I don't know if you've ever played My Name is Mayo.
I've not played that one. No.
But I now have
told me
played
about it.
My Name is Mayo.
I've played I Am Bread.
It's probably the same developer. It's probably very similar. Travis from the Polykill podcast has also played My Name is Mayo and talked about it. And so that's why I was aware of it. So we played it. It is literally just clicking X. You just move the cursor to the mayo jar. You press X.
No, I Am Bread is better than that.
Thousands of times. Thousands of times.
That does not sound fun.
So you're right. It doesn't sound fun, but in the right group of friends, and in this case, it was just me and Craig. It was hilarious. We traded off every 1,000. I was like, okay, I'll do 1,000. You do 1,000. And there is a story because every time you click on a certain amount, it pops up a trophy or an achievement. You've done this. You go in and it's like a new objective, and the name of the objective is like what's happening in the story, and the mayo jar essentially changes outfits based on what's happening in the quote unquote story. It's extremely stupid, extremely dumb, but Craig and I just had a ball. We were just laughing, and the whole time we're just like, oh, it's so avant-garde. It's such a courageous game. Just being like, the stupid. Anyways, we had a great time. Run through the whole thing and got the platinum. We got a platinum trophy on this thing. Like we got 100% completion. It's very hard not to get 100. If you're not clicking on stuff, you're doing it wrong. So, anyways, so we did that, and then the next week, my friend Daryl came over as well as my friend Craig, and we're like, oh, we've got this great game. We played the first one last week. We got the second one this week, and it's just so. Oh, the first one was really good, so the second one's gonna be even better. And you know what? My Name is Mayo's 2. Hard to believe. It's better than my Name is Mayo 1. It is better.
Can't get any worse.
Not in the way that like you do anything different. You don't. It's the exact same game, but the story objectives and everything else in it is different, and it is actually funny. There are actually like mini games in it if you go farther. There's one where like you're literally the mayo and you're playing like Flappy Bird, but instead of Flappy Bird, you're a jar of mayo. You're trying to like get through the pipes, and you got to get through a certain amount of pipes to clear an objective, and then you get more stuff. Or you've got to jump over things, or it's just really dumb. And it's just fun. It's again, the right group of people. It's fun. It's like bad movie night, but it's like bad game night.
Yeah, I could see that. I just don't know how much time I'd put into each one. That's all I was wondering.
How much time do you think it takes to platinum this game? We platinumed My Name is Mayo 2 as well. So
I hope it takes less than an hour.
It absolutely does.
Okay.
20 to 30 minutes, you're done.
Okay, that's fine. That's the right amount.
Yeah. It knows exactly what it is.
Okay.
And it's so now I have like 4 platinums, and 2 of them are My Name is Mayo and My Name is Mayo 2. Soon to be My Name is Mayo 3, because I bought that Green Lava Studios Volume 2 the next year.
I have no words. I can find many more games that are funner than that, but at least it only took 20 minutes.
Fun. I'm not saying they're not more fun games, but what else? Okay, so and after that we were playing Toy Soldiers. I don't know if you remember. It's an Xbox 360 game. It's like tower defense, but you're more active in the.
Yeah, it's called Hyper. It's not
No, it's
called
literally
Toy
called.
Soldiers.
It is called Toy Soldiers.
Oh,
Yeah. The one that we were playing on the Xbox 360 is called Toy Soldiers Cold War, I believe.
oh! I remember this one. Okay, yes. Okay.
So that was one that I played. I played with Craig the first week, and then with Craig and Daryl the next week. We figured out the strategy pretty well. I don't want to say quickly. Within 3 matches, we kind of figured out. But the first match was over quickly because we didn't know what was going on. Second match, we realized that we were both equally matched, and it took us like 30 minutes to kind of find out the other person's weakness. And then once I figured that out, it was basically dominated. And then by the third match, it was kind of like, well, we figured out how to do this. The game's kind of broken now. So the next week we had Daryl come over, and then we just tried to see if he could figure out it. And we figured it out. We played there's only 3 multiplayer maps, so we did that. Went into single player, which was
I have
fun.
Toy Soldiers Complete. I don't have there's Toy Soldiers, just Toy Soldiers Complete, Toy Soldiers HD, and those are the only ones I see on Steam at least. But I have Toy Soldiers Complete, which I believe had some kind of WWF DLC when I bought it. I think.
Oh, so. Potentially, yeah.
I think I can't see it here, but I think I remember something like that.
There was also one released on PS4 that I had and played. The only problem is that whoever, like if you're playing multiplayer on the same console, it's whoever player 1 has access to the DLC options, and the second player doesn't. So the next player is playing with. So player 1 was like clearly overpowered and just dominating the second player. So I was like, it's not really what I wanted. So I sold it. So, got rid of that one. The problem being, I was trying to play it on. It is backwards compatible on Xbox One, so I had to get it on that. The problem is that it is emulating a 360, so I had to figure out how to log in a second account onto the Xbox, log that in, and then when you get into when it emulating the 360, now it's a second layer of emulation. Now you have to try to sign in on the Xbox 360 level. At that point, it was just like, nope, we don't know how to do this. We can't log you in on a second account on the 360 on the Xbox One. So I literally had to fire up the Xbox 360 to play it. So not a bad thing. I mean, it's just right there. It's kind of annoying.
Another game that's but more fun and first-person shooter is Hypercharge Unboxed. Great game.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. Like you're basically it's like that with Toy Story.
Oh, Toy Story. Okay.
Yeah.
So Toy Soldiers has you can control what they call like a commando or an action figure basically. Okay. You can directly control the action. You can manually take over turrets.
Yes, I remember
vehicles,
that.
And you can actually
that was the only way I'd
win.
Yeah. Like as soon as I took over a person or a vehicle, it would just be game over for the enemy. Like they'd be dead. Okay.
So we figured out there are ways to counter attack. Like it's all a rock paper scissors game. Like you do this, so I do that, and then because I'm doing that to counter your thing, then you do the other thing to counter my thing. And it's whoever can do the most things the fastest to counter the other person before they get to it, basically.
Okay.
And there are other points where you build your defenses. There are other ones that are basically capturable or contestable. So if I capture it, then I can build there, but then the other person can
like a commandos
destroy it.
Type thing.
Yeah. So then when the other person can destroy my turrets, and then they can take it over, and then they can build. So basically the idea was if you can take over that spot and then put artillery there and then upgrade your artillery all the way, it basically can just destroy the other person's base before they can do anything. Not much they can do about it. So.
Okay. Hypercharged is way better.
Hypercharged.
It's more like an Unreal Tournament type game where you just go in, join a multiplayer match, and you're all going in for one goal. But there is base build into it where you defend your main base. I don't remember if you can build turrets or not. I kind of thought you could, but I can't remember anymore. And you're jumping around levels that are a real house, like a kid's toy room, for example, and you're just a
That's
small
cool.
action figure jumping around the
I
room
like
and
that kind of
stuff.
thing.
It's
Like
pretty awesome. Yeah.
I'm gonna add it to my wish list.
Hypercharged Unboxed.
That's
It's
expensive,
on,
man.
like,
$32.50. Holy.
I bought it forever ago and I got some deal, but I don't remember how much. I could find if it mattered. Yeah, I bought it years ago when it was like early access or something.
There is I'm actually considering buying a full price game. Helldivers 2.
Yeah, I figured you were going to buy that.
Man, I need some people to play. I'm trying to convince Craig and Daryl to get it. Daryl had it.
There you go.
My friend Daryl. He
Hypercharged
had it.
Unboxed.
There were server
I got.
issues.
Yeah.
There were server issues, and so he returned it.
Oh, no.
But I was just like, but they're gonna fix that.
Yeah.
I do want to play that.
So
bad.
Hypercharged Unlocked, I bought April 27th of 2021. I got it for 50% off, and I paid $11.39 on Steam.
I would do that.
Yeah. So it must have just been lower priced then.
Speaking of which, Aliens is on sale, by the way. Fireteam Elite game, also on sale right now. That would be fun.
But who's buying it?
If I had people that would play it with me, I would.
If I had time to play. If you didn't have me
Also the
recording a
problem.
podcast. And
Anyway,
yesterday
so
I spent my
I
time
would've-
doing another thing too. So
Well, I would have. I'm also went back to play Crimson Skies on the Xbox.
oh,
I remember
Yeah.
I was playing that when I was living at my parents' house.
I remember playing it at my parents' house.
That's funny. I put it's backwards compatible on the Xbox One, so that's where I was playing it. But for whatever reason, I stopped playing, and I was just like, the past week, I'd be like, I want to go back and play. I want to finish that up. So, same thing. I've been doing that. Every night, go in, beat a mission. I'm just gonna chug my way through.
You mentioned Fireteam Elite, and I'm like, okay, I'll check it on istthereanydeal.com and see if there was a better price than there is now or not. But the answer to that is no. This is the best price historically, I believe. But
At least this
that
still was.
said, when I went to go to that website, I remembered that there was a game I just looked up, and because I had bought it just the other day, it was Clone Drone in the Danger Zone. Because I had played the demo for that years ago, and I'm like, I'm going to watch that game for a deal. I'm going to watch that for a deal. It's on for 50% off. I bought it for $11. I think I already had some Steam wallet money from selling some items in the Steam marketplace, some badges, or not badges, cards. So I bought it, and it was fun. So I played it for a couple hours, or maybe an hour and a half the other day. So, yeah. And it is basically, you are a robot clone controlled by a human, and you are just in a series of waves of enemies, basically. You defeat the enemies, then you go back downstairs and do upgrades. You defeat the next enemies, go downstairs, do upgrades. And you keep doing that until you die. When you die, you come back and just do it as a new drone. And you can purchase new lives, like a clone of yourself, so you don't lose your upgrades. Otherwise, you die and come back with no upgrades, and that's when you go fight the guys again starting at a later difficulty.
Okay.
I think there's some unlocks that you keep, like once you hit a milestone, I think you keep those and then come back, but I don't know for sure because I haven't played enough of it. But it's got a weird art style, and it's got fun humor to it too. Like there's commentators that are talking the whole time, and they're robots, so they're making fun of you, and it's just fun. Clone Drone in the Danger Zone. I don't even know what it's out on, but I bought it on Steam. It is Steam, PlayStation 4, Switch,
it's
and
$10
Xbox Cloud.
right now.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. And it says more for platforms on Wikipedia, but Google's not showing me the actual answer. Xbox One, Mac OS. All right. Yeah.
Cool. I think that's all for games I've been playing. I think.
we didn't talk about the other thing that I bought. The thing you made me buy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Go ahead.
So my daughter comes up to me and says, "There's someone at the door, and they're holding a TV." I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "How did she know this? Did she can't peek out the little spy hole, so she has to have looked out the window." But I'm like, "No, we told her not to look out the window in case it's like solicitors, and we don't want them to know she's there at all. We just ignore those people. I hate when Rogers comes to the door." Anyway, so she watched the camera. We have the security camera on a Raspberry Pi in the living room, so she was looking there. Anyway, so I come to the door, and who is it? It's Josh carrying a TV, and it's a PlayStation 3 3D TV. The 32 inch, right? It's a 32 inch thing?
The 32, I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's what they call it. Anyway, it's a smaller TV, but it's got 3D support. So,
which you've had your eye on.
I've had my eye on for a long time. I've almost bought them 3 times now, but
yeah,
mostly the deal they get bought quickly. I think there was one even free one time. Anyway, so Josh found one for $50 and said, "I'm buying that for Derek," because it was like late at night, you said?
No, it was, so the story was I came into work and there wasn't really any work for me to do. And so like, "Oh, well, you can go do this thing," but it was like a long way away. So I'm like, "Oh, I'm just going to kind of dawdle around the yard for a little bit and kind of mess around." I was sitting in my truck and I saw it pop up. Like, I just refreshed and all of a sudden it was there. So right away I was just like, I want it. Can I come right now? Can I come right now and do it? And they're like, yeah, sure. Come now. So I went over there. It was in the opposite direction of where I wanted to go. By the way, our vehicles are GPS. So I was just waiting for my boss at any point to be like, "Where the hell are you going?" You
took a wrong turn.
Yeah. So in my mind, I'm just like, "Oh, I'm going to have to make something up. Like, oh, my dad needed me or whatever." It was kind of or GPS took me the wrong way. I don't know what's going on here. You know, I was going to make something up. They didn't, they're like, whatever. They don't care. Just like they had me working, quote unquote. So I went over to this area. It was a bit of a sketchy area of town. It wasn't like nice. Pulled up to the side. I'm like, "Okay, I'm here." And the person's just like, "Okay, yeah, I'll be out in a minute." You know, I'm just getting dressed. And it was like I said, first thing in the morning, like 8:00. So like waiting, and this person's not showing up, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm here, and they're not answering my messages, and like I'm just like, I ended up waiting on the curb for like 20 minutes. I'm just parked on the street. I'm like,
with this big truck,
with my giant work truck, waiting, and I'm waiting for my boss to call me to say, "What are you doing?" Like, because one thing I learned also is that if our truck sits for too long not doing anything, it sets off like an alarm on our dispatch system. Be like,
"Oh my god,
if this guy's not doing anything, like send him work," basically.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for that. I guess that no one cared, or they didn't say anything, or they just walked away. I don't know. I have no idea. Then no one cared. Finally, I get a thing. So I also said, "Can I see it working?" Because I just thought a picture of it. I'm like, "Can I see it working before I buy it?" They said, "Okay, we got to do over here." I walked in this place and it was a mess. Like this, they're like, "Oh, we just got broken into, and now we're just trying to like sell some stuff to recoup our losses." I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, sorry." And it didn't really make sense to me. Then I was like, "Can I e-transfer you?" They're like, "Yeah, we'll send you like." So they sent me an email. This email was neither of these two people's names, but they had this phone so they could check that they got it. And I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on with this. I'm like, I just e-transferred and I took it. I saw it working and I just walked away. And that's what I brought to you. I'm just like, you should clean this because I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there was like a shriveled up condom or something on the bottom that looked like
oh jeez.
It was I was like, but it was like this big.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, how long is that? And it was hard, crusty. Like that's the only thing I know of that looks like that shape. So I don't know what else this could be. But
okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
but I cleaned it up.
50,
doesn't matter.
It was $50. It's cheaper than what mine was 80 that I spent for it. So
yeah.
you got a better deal than mine. So
yep. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just like, I didn't, and at this point, I hadn't even asked you if you wanted it. I had just,
Yeah,
I was,
you know.
I'm going to get this, and basically texted you on the way saying, "I'm coming over. Are you available?"
And I totally missed it. I'm pretty sure I missed the message, right?
I think you said yes, but you weren't ready for me.
Oh,
to
then I
show up
forgot
right
when
away.
you were. Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, so you tested it out because you had glasses already.
Yes, I have a one pair of VR glasses, or sorry, 3D glasses, and we tried it out there, and it worked good.
It's got some pixely lines at the very top, like the one line.
Yeah,
top.
yeah. It almost looks like the whole screen has shifted down or something weird, but whatever.
Yeah. Who knows?
Doesn't bother me none.
That's okay. So now I have some 3D movies I'm gonna bring over for you. So I got some extras.
I don't have anything to play them on except PS3.
PS4, PS3,
PS4?
PS4 will plays. Yeah.
Yeah, I have that hooked up to my other TV.
Not hard to just swap a cable.
It is when you have a switcher in the way in the middle. Actually, I have a switcher and a splitter in the way, and a DID device for the PS4.
No, but then I'm saying just get an extra HDMI cord and unplug it from the back of the thing, and then plug it in there and like pull directly from the device, because your switchers and whatever may not be 3D compatible. So
yeah, I know the switcher, the HDMI switcher it does 4K
Okay.
and 3D, but I don't know about the splitter, and definitely I don't know about the DID. I have a DID emulator which like tells the PS4 that I have a non surround sound, because the PS4 always thinks I have surround sound.
okay.
If it's plugged in through the switcher, it thinks it has surround sound. Actually, I think it was hooked up directly to the TV. It did the same thing. It's just really annoying PS4
Weird.
glitch. There used to be a setting for it, and Sony removed the setting on the PS4 Slim and Pro. It only exists on the original PS4.
Interesting.
Yeah. Stupid.
But you have
So
a
if
Pro
you
now,
watch-
don't you?
Yeah,
Oh.
they don't have the setting on the Pro.
Oh, right.
They removed it from the Pro and
Got it.
yeah, Pro and Slim. But if you try and watch any content basically that has surround sound, like 5.1 channel,
Yeah.
you'll have no voices because they're normally on center channel, and it thinks I have a center channel, but I don't.
Interesting.
So it just screws up all the sound. That's the biggest indicator. And the same thing when I try and play Horizon Zero Dawn. I tried to play is when I've noticed it the first time after getting a Slim, and fire up the game and there's no voices. I can see the text happening. I can see the thing happening. I have music playing, but there's no voices. So I'm trying to figure out what could be wrong. And I don't think I Googled it. I think I saw it in the settings that it said it was set to 5.1 or something like that. And there's no way to change it. It's just so stupid. Stupid problems. So anyway, I had to buy an HDMI adapter. I have a soundbar hooked up now, but it doesn't matter because it still isn't 5.1 channel.
Yo, okay, so my soundbar has like a thing where you can click it and it's just like it basically takes all your surround sound and just brings it all into the soundbar.
I haven't tried turning off this device that disables
Oh, okay.
the surround sound, so maybe it would work with the surround sound or with the soundbar, but also it's a crappy soundbar, so probably not.
Mine,
Like I said, I
mine
took
thing
the
is
one
like
from
it's called like
upstairs.
3D surround or whatever, so it's just like emulates 5.1.
Yeah. Don't know.
Oh well. So yeah, I watched some 3D movies. I also need to watch some 3D movies so I can get some points.
I need to watch some VHS movies so I can get some points. In the ABC Challenge,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't think I've really added anything to it, have I? Not really. I've been watching TV. I did watch some movies, so no, I did. All right. So I'm gonna start with movies then, or sorry, TV shows I've been watching.
You're
I
watching?
watched the Q Dogs have been talking about Last Man on Earth,
Okay.
and I had seen it before, but not the whole first season. And I'm like, I have a hard time watching that show, but Q Dogs are watching it, so I got to give it another chance. So I put on started watching the first episode. I think I watched the first 5, and I'm just like, it's exactly what I remember. I don't like this main character. I just don't like him because he's not likable. They want him to be not likable, but they still want you to watch the show. And I like the premise of the show, which is the reason I want to watch the show, is I like the idea of last person on Earth, last people on Earth. But then again, he's no longer the last man on Earth within the first season. So what does it matter? Anyway, I don't like it still. I don't like it. I don't like him. I wish the whole show would be better without him. Anyway, so I watched season 1 and I don't think I want to continue. I don't have season 2 downloaded, so I can't watch it, but I do have season 3 and 4 downloaded. So you know what I mean? Yeah. I just either I get 2 and try it or I give up. Haven't decided yet. I also watched more of Loudermilk, but of course, because I didn't write down how much of it I watched, I don't remember. Did I finish the season? I forget. I think I did. It's not showing because I deleted all the episodes after I finished them. So I don't know. But it was good. I enjoyed Loudermilk. They're telling a good story in a good way. Some unexpected twists.
I've been hearing good things.
Yeah. Such a good show. I have movies.
I'll do my one TV show, so I don't have a lot.
Okay.
We're gonna be tied, man. I don't have a lot of movies either. I've been every night that's been free. We've been watching Game of Thrones. We got back catch up. We took a break during the Christmas holidays just to do other things, and so we've gone back and we've watched. I forget what season I told you we finished, but we've watched 5 and 6 now.
Okay.
So we are
I don't
almost
remember.
done. And spoilers, I think maybe season 6 is probably like the last good season. 7 might be okay.
I don't remember how far I made it, but it wasn't that far, I don't think.
From what I remember is I don't remember you saying you got that far. I think you said maybe season 4 you got to.
4? I think so.
Yeah.
And even then, I felt like I was trying hard to enjoy it.
I said it last time. I'll say it again. It is such a good show. I appreciate it so much more watching it now for a second time, knowing how the whole thing goes, how it ends. Going back and watching everything, I'm like, oh, that person's there. Oh, that person's there. Oh, I know who these people are. Oh, I know this family connection through here. I can see everything now, and it's way more interesting a second time around. Way more interesting. Because like the first time I watched it, I was either watching it weekly, so I have to remember all these characters weekly. Then it goes from season to season, and then someone shows up. I'm like, who the heck is this person? I have no idea who you are. Whereas like now I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, I only watched you like maybe a month ago. I saw you, so I know who all these people are and what their connections are and what they were told to go and do and why they're doing what they're doing, and so yeah, it's good. Really good. On to season 7 at some point. Probably next week we'll probably start season 7. So shall see how that goes. There you go. That's
You have fun with that.
I will. Season 7 I think is kind of like I don't want to say the beginning of the end, but I remember it being good, but again, same thing. Also, I was, like I said, watching it weekly. I was either went to someone's house to watch it, or I was downloading it myself at that point. And they were like direct from TV, like grainy as hell, couldn't see what was going on. Like just kind of garbage stream. I was watching it because I just had to see what happened. Now I'm watching it and I get to see all the detail because I'm watching it in 1080p.
It's just too bad it's a boring show. What?
It's not.
I finished season 4. That's where I ended.
Okay.
After that, I just
It's good.
I don't like any of the people on the show. Like, there's like no one I feel like I want to do good. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm not gonna.
That's fine. Different strokes for different folks. Such a bad thing to say.
Yeah.
All right, movies.
So, I watched. I feel like I already talked about this, but I didn't. No, I did. Self-Reliance. Did I tell you I watched that?
You did tell me about that, yeah.
On here?
Ooh, maybe not. Maybe we were doing something else together. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Anyway, so Self-Reliance with Jake
just
Johnson, Andy
I
Schaumburg's
just put this
in
on my.
it.
I just put this on my Plex.
Did you?
I did.
Pretty sure I just deleted it from mine. But yeah, I'm trying to save hard drive space. I enjoyed it. I like the main guy, the main actor. I know him from the The New Girl TV show.
Mhm.
My wife and I used to watch forever ago with Zoe Deschanel. But I liked the premise of this movie. Basically, so given opportunity to participate in a life or death reality game show, one man discovers there's a lot to live for. I don't think that's a great description, but whatever. Like the end's like kind of makes it more serious than it is. It's fun. It's a
Yeah.
fun, silly movie. I think I actually just had my sister-in-law the other day tell me she wants to watch this movie randomly out of nowhere. She's like, "Have you heard of this movie?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've seen it." She's like, "How is it?" I'm like, "It's good. Watch it." Yeah. It was just kind of fun.
Good.
Yes, I'm glad.
It's on my list to watch. And I might even get a recommendation point from you because you recommended
Ah, damn it.
it. Yeah.
I see how this works.
Yeah.
I did reach out to Kevin a couple times on the Discord and say, "Hey, that one I recommended."
That's true. That's true.
Constantine and what was the other one a while ago? I forget now.
I just listened, not spoilers because this will be later, but I listened to the latest Retro Fandango, and Richard is 7 movies away from being done. Like, he is.
It's good. Now I feel
is-
bad that there's not more for him to do.
He is killing. Well, he did reach out about New Game Plus, and Kevin also reached out
Yeah.
about New Game Plus, New Challenge Plus, whatever you want to call it. So that is going through every movie sequentially from 0 to 9 individual numbers. So we'll see if he wants to do that after. We shall see. My oldest kid, he's only in grade 1, but we've really been pushing him towards like reading. So he's obsessed with video games, but we're just like, we need to do other things as well. So like last summer, we introduced him to the Dogman books. I don't know. If
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. My son hated reading up until he found Dogman, and now he loves reading and loves Dogman.
Yeah, same thing. My kid just fell in love with Dogman. He would just read the books. We found one book when we were camping. We went to Value Village and we found the first one.
Yep.
So we got it for him, and again, his reading wasn't great, and now it's just like he'd read the whole thing. His reading just exploded after that book.
Yep. Captain Underpants is done by the same writer.
Same right. Captain
Just so you know.
technically was done first, yeah. So
Yeah,
that's what we
yeah.
did. I found Captain Underpants #1. Like we got him other Dogman books, so he's been reading all
Yep.
those ones.
Yeah.
But those are comic books, right? So they're like speech bubbles.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the whole thing. Captain Underpants is one that I read when I was a kid, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Well, preteen, early teen, something like that.
Sure.
I read them.
Like last year, yeah.
The first time. So, anyways, I was at Value Village and I saw Captain Underpants, the first one, and it's in color. It's a hardcover in
Yes,
color.
yes.
So I was just like,
They re-released it. Yeah.
That'll be great. So I bought it for him and I gave it to him, and it's different. It's not comic. It's actually like a chapter book. They're short chapters, but they're actually like, pages. There's pictures on every page, but there are page-long things where you have to read through.
Mhm.
And he read through it and he loved it. He was laughing and going through the whole thing. So, and part of what I said is, hey, if you read the whole book, then we can watch the movie. There's a movie. So he read the whole thing, loved it. So then I went and got the movie and we watched the first movie. So I had never seen Captain Underpants movie. It's
It's
quite
pretty
funny. It's
Yeah.
very funny. Yeah.
If you want to continue on the path of that reading progression, getting him better with harder books because of that, or because of enjoying it, Diary of a Wimpy Kid is also similar and has movies
Okay.
as well.
Yeah.
And my son is doing those and enjoys them too. I swear there's more, but I can't think of it right now.
Okay. So we only have the first Captain Underpants book. Now that they're in color, I'm just like, I'm trying to find the color ones. I found the third one in color. I haven't found the second one in color yet. So we'll
Okay.
see. But he's only had the first one. I've found some other ones that the same. It's Dave Pilkey is the writer,
Dav,
the
yeah.
author. You call him Dav? I call him Dave, I guess.
I believe it's Dav, but I don't know for
Okay.
sure.
Anyways, I found some other books that he's done. He did like Oog and Pluck or whatever. So it's like the comic book written by George and Harold, who are the main characters in Captain Underpants.
Yeah.
They make
Yeah.
a comic called Ook and Pluck or whatever. So then he made a comic book about that. So it's like it's a book written by fictional characters in his other. So I don't know. It's kind of like Inception with an Inception kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I have that but it's not okay. It's not color. Not that it matters. I don't think he cares because I don't think all of the Dogman stuff is in color. Maybe it is.
I think it all is. I think so.
So, anyways, we'll see how it goes. I haven't given them any to him yet. He was given some Dogman books for his birthday, so I'm waiting for him to work through those, and then, as needed, I can bring some more out. So, yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, Sean has all the Dogmans and he's read them all uncountable times.
I can't even keep them all straight in which release order they're all in, and I don't think my son cares. He's just kind of reading whichever one.
Yeah. Yep. There's places like Wikipedia has it, or I'm actually looking at the author's website right now, and he has a listing of all of them in order.
Okay, yeah, I should do that.
But there's also Cat Kid Comic Club books as well.
Yeah, I don't think we have any of those yet.
Yeah, we have all of them as well. And now my daughter wants her own copies of all of them because my son doesn't want to share, because in Dogman books sometimes there's a section called Fliporama, where you go back and forth and something's happening, like someone's hitting someone or something's happening, and it says like, be careful, don't rip the page, literally. But pretty much every time somebody rips the page. So my daughter has ripped the page. In my son's book, I've had to repair it, and he says, you're not allowed to borrow the books anymore. And I'm like, I totally agree with that. That makes sense. Yeah. But now she wants her own copies of them. Like, we're not getting 2 copies of the friggin' books.
I have some extras if you need some extras, because I bought them and then I got home and we realized they already had them.
That's the other thing. You need to have a picture of your kids' books library on your phone all the time.
Yeah, I do, because I got there and I'm just like, I don't know. I was there the other day and I looked. I'm like, I know he doesn't have that one. I don't know about that one.
Can't even count the how many times I've been working from home or out of a job at home, and my wife would call me and say, does Sean have this book or does Lauren have this book?
Go check. Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is the Dogman books are like bookshelf, nightstand, on the desk.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to consolidate them all together, and
yes, that is a problem. Yeah. Or
I do like how the Captain
piles them on the floor.
Says the first one, the second, the fifth.
Yeah, Dogman should have that, but doesn't. Yeah. Oh, I didn't show my pickup. I forgot.
No, you didn't. What's your pickup?
I already mentioned it, but I think we weren't recording when I mentioned it. Another CRT.
Oh yeah, you mentioned
VCR built in.
Nice.
You can't see. It's all blurred. It's all blurred.
Why are you even blurring? Why do you even blur?
Because I have a computer here recording tapes, so it's distracting. Anyway,
the blur is more distracting.
This is a Magnavox brand. No, Memorex. Memorex brand. Oh, but nice. I have a Sensui and a Westinghouse, Whitehouse, whatever the heck that other brand is. Anyway, the exact same TV. The Sensui has the same buttons, and the Westinghouse one has the same guts and button layout, but different face on it. And better speakers. I think it has 2 speakers in that one. This one only has 1. Oh. But they're all based on the same thing, and they all use the same remote.
That's cool.
So, kind of neat. But the remote's also not working, but that's weird.
Those are things I'm always watching for, because I'm just like, those, you should probably bring those to a game slot. Those.
I don't want to sell them. That's the problem. So anyway, Sansui one was in my daughter's room, and it stopped working. It like smelled of burning rubber when she was playing a tape. So I got to try and fix it. And then I have a spare one after that, but
that's fine. But if you're getting them for free.
Well, yeah, this one I gave a bag of rice that cost $18.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
a huge bag of rice. And one of them I paid $15 for. And another one I drove to Cambridge and paid $15 for, I think. And then the other one I got for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool. I've been watching for like, I don't know what it is, man. It's a problem. I've been watching for like small TVs for some reason. I just want like a really small TV.
Yeah.
Like an 8-incher, you know.
I have an 8-inch black and white one from my childhood. Like I watched that in our camping trailer when I was a kid. And then at one point I moved my bedroom to my camping trailer because I shared a room with my 2 brothers, and my brother had a friend that was living with us because his parents were deadbeats and kicked him out of the house. So we had 2 people in the house, and I did not want to be in the same room as all those guys, right? So I lived in our camping trailer in the driveway for, I don't know, like maybe a month or something like that through the summer. And I had that TV in my in the camping trailer with me, and I watched that for hours on end, watching like Showcase and whatever I could get on TV, especially if it was something dirty, right?
Oh man.
So So I have so many memories of that, and that thing's in my attic. I need to bring it out and hook it up because
Yes, you
I
should.
love that TV. I just want to mount it somewhere here.
Just have it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. That's cool. Yeah, I'm watching for. I've seen a couple here and there, but man, they're so freaking expensive. People are asking like like
Are
tiny
they?
TVs. Tiny TVs are expensive, and like big
That's
TVs are
weird.
like they can't even get rid of them. Like they're
It's
free.
true. I do see someone who has a giant TV with the DVD and VCR built in, and they've been trying to sell it for a long time, and the price just keeps dropping. I think it may be even free now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, trying to get those small TVs. Like I'm seeing like really tiny, like 9-inch, 10-inch Trinitrons, and people want like 150, $200 for them. I'm just
Because it's a
like,
Trinitron, that's why.
I know, but still.
Just
But
a generic crappy brand, and it'll be cheaper or free.
so,
Yeah, it's hard. Like I said, this one I only caught randomly. I was surprised no one. It must be because they asked for trade. This was on a free or trade group in Kitchener Waterloo, and
okay.
the person said, I want either paper towels or rice or toilet paper, I think, and they said I will wait until 6 p.m. and then I'll pick whoever is going to get it. Being polite really helps or something like that. And it was 14 hours after they had posted it at like midnight. I found it and I'm just like, nobody commented. No one even offered a trade. Something she said must have deterred people. I don't know.
It was too much work. It was too much work.
Yeah, seriously. And it was 5 minutes from my work.
Oh, that's
It was
perfect.
perfect. So I offered her rice. She said I offered her rice or paper towel, and she said they'd like rice. And she said she'd be home because they were getting their furnace replaced, which was nice for me because that means they were home during the day and I could go in the middle of work.
Yeah.
So I did that and it worked out great. And she was very thankful that I just gave her the whole bag of rice because she just wanted like a cup of rice for it. Seriously, she said just give me some. I'm not greedy. I'm like, here you go. I got to the house. I also felt bad. So they had a van in front of the house with the wheelchair accessible, and there was signs on the door of like oxygen in use, no smoking, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm assuming she has an elderly mother or living with them or something like that.
Fixed income kind of thing. Maybe.
Yeah. So I'm like I don't need this TV. It's a toy for me. $15, $18, $25, even $40 would have been still a good deal.
Yeah, for sure.
And even worse if I tell her to turn around and sell it at a game swap. So I figured I'd give her the whole bag of rice.
Well, keep watching for a small TV for me.
Okay. Yeah, all I have is a black and white one, and I'm never getting rid of that one. So.
No, I don't want black and white. I want color.
Yeah, the black and white one's gonna be neat, especially nostalgia. But yeah.
What else did I watch? I randomly watched a French movie that I used to watch when I was a kid when I lived overseas. We didn't have access to a lot of stuff unless it was like we brought it from Canada or had friends or family send us stuff in the mail, which could take months.
Okay.
But the last time, like later years we were there, the VCDs were the big format.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a French-speaking country, so they import a lot of like movies from France, French movies. So that's where we watched a lot of those. So one of the movies we watched was called Tais-toi, which in English means shut up. But in English, it's in the movie's called Ruby and Quentin. It's the new two main characters. It's starring Jean Reno and Gerard Depardieu. You may or may not know them. They're both French actors who act in English movies, but they're actually playing in a French movie, speaking French. It's just kind of like a silly movie. Gerard Depardieu is kind of like an imbecile who gets caught and put in prison and in a mental institution, and Jean Reno is like a hitman who gets caught, who pretends to be mentally ill, and then they escape and they have to take revenge on Jean Reno's boss, basically.
Okay.
Not exciting whatsoever, but what's cool is that I could nostalgia, yeah, and also I always watched it in French, like it was purely in French.
It's true.
No subtitles or anything, so I didn't always get all the jokes. I didn't understand what's going on, so I'm just like, so for anyone listening, if you're watching on Plex, You can click on the options and you can actually just download subtitles directly from Plex. Plex will just
Yes,
put
it was
subtitles on
broken for
screen.
a while, but it started working.
Yeah. So I used
Thankfully.
to manually download all my subtitles and name them the same as the video file in the same folder so that it could get picked up. That's how I had to do it for VLC, so VLC could find it. Anyways, now you can just do it straight through Plex. So, Kevin, if you're complaining, I remember Kevin was complaining about one of my subtitle files. Just go to Plex and you can just put on your subtitles and it'll be fine. Yeah, watch that.
Seems to be working. Seems to be working.
I watched it with English subtitles and I actually got a lot of the jokes. So they're funny. It's funny because I'm listening to it in French. The joke makes sense in French. Reading it in English doesn't make sense, but because I know the words in French, I'm like, oh, that's how that works. It's funny. Yeah.
What was it called in English? You said in English it's Ruby? Ruby.
It's
not coming up on IMDb. What year was this from?
2003.
Oh, okay. I pictured it being older. That could be part of the problem as well, but... Oh, Ruby and
Quentin.
Okay. Gotcha. So Jean Reno is the guy from Leon the Professional, which I really liked. I haven't seen it in years, but I really remember loving it.
Yep.
Okay.
You got something else? Got another?
Yeah. So I watched Jungle from 2017.
That's Daniel Radcliffe, right?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay.
As an Israeli adventurer. So he's just some guy who's, taking time off from between high school and college or high school and university and touring abroad. And it's based on a true story. It is also gory because this is his story about basically being trapped in the jungle. So him and a friend of his that he sees all over the place when he's touring and adventuring around, who's also doing the same thing, and another guy who is a photographer that guy knows, and they just agree to go on this crazy adventure with this tour guide that they met there, and chaos ensues, basically. Based on a true story, like I said. So kind of interesting and gory and
you mentioned gory a few times. Is it gory?
Yeah. There's some stuff that's like, oh, okay.
Ugh, okay.
All right. And I didn't need that to be there, but I guess it helps convey the story.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe seems to like gory stuff too.
So is it a recommendation?
I mean, because it's Daniel Radcliffe, I'd say you should watch it.
Okay. So a recommendation for me. Okay.
Yeah, or particularly if you find it interesting, yeah, it's good. It's neat. And the based on a true story thing is also neat. They actually have photos at the end of the real guys.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. Of the time. I think it's 1983 or 86 or somewhere in there is when it really happened.
Okay.
Something like that. So there's no just, cell phone and get out of there.
No, exactly.
Yeah. I have one more movie that's not a cagey thing.
I have two more? I didn't watch a whole lot of movies. Jeez. One just doesn't count. I watched Kung Fu Panda with the kids. My oldest is in Taekwondo, and I'm just trying to show him some more action movies, trying to slowly.
Mm-hmm.
But, Kung Fu Panda is fun, and Kung Fu Panda 4 is coming out in theaters.
I was gonna say there's a new one coming out. Yeah.
So they watch the Mario Bros movie over and over and over around here, and Bowser's Jack Black. I'm like, the same guy does Po. He's Kung Fu Panda.
It's true, yeah.
So just trying to throw connections, and anyways, trying to add to my thing because I just realized I forgot a movie.
Yeah, I forgot a TV show. It was 2 TV shows I forgot.
So, I haven't watched so far. I haven't watched anything that I can add to my challenge yet. So, I guess Captain Underpants, but it's a C. I already have a C movie, so I can't use that one until I can upgrade my points. All right.
I haven't even checked my spreadsheet in a while. I don't know if I added these ones or not.
I watched a movie that you recommended to me last episode.
Okay.
I watched King of New York.
Yeah. Did
You
I
recommended
recommend
this
it?
to me, right? You
I
recommended this
don't
to
think
me,
I
right?
recommended it. No.
I believe you did. I believe you said you should watch this movie.
Mm.
Check the tape, Derek. Derek, check the tape.
It was fun. It was King. I was for some reason I was thinking of the Nicolas Cage ones, but no, it wasn't Nicolas
Okay,
Cage. It was Christopher Walken. It was
Christopher
good.
Walken.
Yeah, sure,
Okay,
sure. It was recommended. Yeah,
okay. I'll take
yeah.
the extra point. I did not like this movie at all. I don't know, man. I just wasn't feeling it. Uh I don't Christopher Walken I don't think was a leading man for this movie. Like he just seemed so kind of like he was trying to put on airs about I'm a big shot, but he just didn't convey it. He didn't seem like a big shot. He was just
I
kind of
think
like
partly is he's out of place in this movie. Like
he's very out of
he,
place. He's trying to
he's
play a tough guy and he's not a tough guy.
he's trying to play tough guy, but he's also trying to play rich. But everybody he surrounds himself with are poor people, like normal, average, and bad people doing crime because they don't have another job. Like it's weird. It's weird.
I found the editing probably the worst part of it. The soundtrack and the editing together. Honestly, I'm not trying to tear you down if you really like this movie. I'm not trying to.
I don't really like it. I just found it was interesting to watch, and I also love Christopher Walken. But
I wanted more of like taking over the business. I wanted to see the business side of it. I wanted to see him, going, but the whole movie was basically him walking into like a room or whatever situation, be like,
yeah,
I own this now. Everyone's
yeah,
like, okay, or they're like, no, and he's like, okay, then you're dead, and he shoots him, and then he doesn't show him doing anything. It just
they didn't have a lot of explanation of how he can overpower and overthrow these people without showing any of the planning that goes into it.
Yeah,
it's like, did he really just? It doesn't seem like they justified or earned that.
They didn't earn it. No, they didn't earn it at all. It was just
Yeah.
basically him showing up saying, I own this now. Okay, done. Oh, you don't like these people don't like it. Okay, we're gonna shoot these people. Okay. Anyway, the whole thing, I just found it. It looked like someone's college editing project. Like it was just cut together so weirdly and so off. And I'm just like, what am I watching right now?
But you know that it was not a terrible, like a low
No.
budget thing at the time. It must not
No.
have been based on who's in it.
Yeah.
Then again, they were all, well, I don't know.
They're
I don't
all-
know if they're up and comers or not, but like David Caruso, I assume, was already popular then.
Maybe.
But what's his name was pretty young.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence
was
Fishburne
young.
seemed pretty young.
Wesley
right?
Snipes was young.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes too. Yeah, but
Like
still.
they're all probably up and comers or newly. I mean, Lawrence Fishburne was still Larry Fishburne, so he wasn't anything big yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So, anyways, you talked about it a bit last month. We don't have to go too much into it, but yeah, it was just
King of New York. In case
King of
anyone's
New York.
curious. Yeah.
I tried watching this off your Plex, but for some reason it would not load.
Dun, dun, dun. What's that?
But anyways, it is free on Plex with ads. So
Okay. That was okay. It probably won't load because I deleted it or something. I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know. Still shut up. So.
Weird.
Yep. I have one Nicolas Cage.
All right.
You have one Nicolas Cage?
I have things that I forgot to mention, so I'll just go through them quick. I've been watching. I started trying to watch the Invincible, the TV show, season 2. I think I finished episode 3 last. I mean, it's fun. It's gory. It's swearing and shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an interesting show done in a fun way with superheroes. That's not the same old. It's kind of like The Boys, but a cartoon. And then we finished Taskmaster season 10, and we're moving on to season 9 because we're going backwards order. And it's fun to see a show get less refined. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The further we're going back, we're seeing
'cause you're
less
going
and
backwards.
less.
Yeah.
We're seeing less and less professionalism, or less and less like.
Less
there's one
budget.
time where, well, that too. It so far that hasn't been a problem actually. The budget's been pretty good the whole time. We're not recognizing as many actors anymore or comedians anymore, so maybe that's where the budget difference is. But we also, my wife and I watched Sex with Sue, the documentary about Sue Johansson, who did the Talk Sex with Sue TV show that was famous in Canada. If you lived in Canada when you were a teenager, you probably saw this show. It was basically a
I did
call-in
not
show.
live in Canada. So.
Yeah, it was a call-in show where people could call and ask for sex advice, sex tips, sanitary, everything. She was a nurse. It was an awesome show. I'm assuming your wife knows it then. If she grew up here, you should just say,
She
"Hey,
was
have you ever heard?
sheltered.
Have you ever seen Sex is Oh, then maybe she hasn't. But anyway, so it was a documentary about her. She was basically an old lady doing a call-in show about sex questions. And it was
I may have seen
just,
clips of this. Maybe I've seen
like,
clips.
maybe. Anyway, a very, very good documentary and cool to see her life. The documentary was made in the years leading up to her death, and she died just 6 months before they released the documentary. And her daughter did most of the interviews with her about it
Oh, well.
when they were just talking about her life and stuff. So her daughter arranged to have quality interviews done, but her daughter did the interviewing. So it was really cool.
That's cool.
Done in a good way. Yeah. I think that is everything. What is this? No, this is on my list for later. Yes. Yep. That is all the TV shows. Oh, there's one more movie. So I also, speaking of Christopher Walken and Mafia, I watched Stand Up Guys from 2012. So now he's an old guy who
Coming
was
to take over?
in the Mafia. No, his old partner, played by Al Pacino, is released from prison after serving time. Basically took the fall and didn't tell anybody what was going on. Very similar to the Tulsa King TV show. But basically he gets out, and then Christopher Walken's told he basically needs to kill his best friend because the Mafia boss that's still alive and was in charge of them said so. So they go on a bender and live up their life and get their buddy out of the old age home and have a good time. So it was definitely better than King of New York.
Okay.
I think you would also enjoy this, but I think
Oh,
you'd
that's a
enjoy this
recommendation?
more.
Okay. That's a
yeah.
recommendation.
It's
Yeah.
recommended. I like everything sometimes, or I don't like it, but there's no middle ground there. I like it or I don't.
Okay. Fair enough.
But it was good. I swear I've seen it, or I've just seen the trailer for it maybe ruined too much or something like that, or maybe someone told me about it because it was on my watch list, so someone has to have told me about it at some point. So it says a pair of aging stick-up men try and get the old gang back together for one last hurrah before one of the guys takes his last assignment to kill his comrade. That's the plot.
The review scores are all in the middle. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean
I can see
anything,
it.
but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can think
I
of a
like
few
movies that
reasons
are in the
why,
middle, so.
but yeah, you're weird. There's nobody you're going to mention that's like the director that's like, oh, that's blah, 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 blah.
No, I don't know. Fisher Stevens. I don't know who the. I don't know who that.
I don't know him either. He directed Short Circuit or something.
Short Circuit.
Short Circuit? No, not director.
Yeah,
He
Short
was
Circuit.
in
one
Short
and two.
Circuit?
Yeah.
Maybe he was in it. And
He was in it.
Hackers?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
an
He was
actor.
the little scientist. Yeah.
Interesting. He's directed 25 things, so that's probably more recent. Of course, it's not showing me them. Oh, there we go. The Lincoln Project.
Anyways,
I don't know any
you
of this
have to-
stuff.
you have to Google show.
Yeah. It's Googled the show. Everything else I have is cagey.
All right. How many cages you got?
Well, I have a couple things that are not cage movies to talk about, but then I have 2 cage movies to talk about.
Okay, let's talk about cage movies first. You have 2 cages.
Two cage movies and 2 non-cage movie topics.
Okay. We can save the non-movie stuff for after. We'll finish the cage, and then we'll.
Okay.
All right.
Then-
You got 2.
then
I got
cage.
1. So you.
All right,
I'll
all
be in the
right.
middle.
So, first one is called Left Behind from 2014. It's a disaster movie about the Christian rapture.
Yep.
It is cheesy, full of bad acting,
Yep.
bad storyline.
Yep.
It has a sequel featuring an all-new cast that's titled Left Behind: Rise of the Antichrist from 2023. Kevin Sorbo takes over Nicolas Cage's character, and Kevin Sorbo is also the director.
So you watched the second one, is what you're saying?
I did not watch the second one. It sounds like it's full-on propaganda, whereas the first one is like kind of propaganda. It gets more into propaganda halfway through, basically.
That's funny.
And they got Nicolas Cage basically to have a name attached to it, so people would maybe watch a Nicolas Cage movie and learn something about Christian religion in the meantime.
So I was on the opposite side of this. Is I remember when the Left Behind series was like books. Again, I was living in a Christian organization at the time, and they were everywhere, and everyone was loving Left Behind, and it was a big deal that Nicolas Cage was signed to the movie of Left Behind. I haven't watched it, but everything I've heard, like I didn't read the books. I was not into it. I'm just like, even as a Christian, I was like, this is Christian propaganda, and I don't want to read it.
And it also has what is her name? Leah Thompson as the mother in the movie.
Oh, okay, really?
She's married to Nicolas Cage. Like it was almost like it could have been a good movie for the first. Well, it could have been a good bad movie. You know what I mean? Like a good low budget movie for the first 40 minutes maybe. And then after that it's just like, ooh, never mind. Yeah. You got something?
So we had plans for Super Bowl. I don't know if you care about Super Bowl. You probably don't care. I don't think you. Yeah.
My wife wanted to watch it just to have it as a thing, and we did chicken wings and like finger food stuff. Yeah.
Watch for the halftime show, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we didn't get to that point. The kids stopped listening, and we tried to give them the go-ahead baths. So we turned it off, and then we forgot about it.
Yeah, that's fair. So we had plans to go to a friend's house for Super Bowl. The day before, they messaged around saying the kids aren't feeling so great. We'll see how they feel in the morning. So then me and the other friends were kind of like, okay, if they cancel, then we can come to our house. Like we don't have a big house, and there's not a lot of people, but like if we condense the group a little bit, we can make it work at our house. So
you
next
could
morning,
buy a bigger house. I did hear mention of that.
Yeah. I'm just gonna move in with you. That's the...
Your wife sent me a house in my neighborhood and
know.
asked if it was in my neighborhood, and I said yes. You should buy that house. It's 5 minutes away. Sorry to derail, but I had to bring it up.
And a lot of houses. You should see the amount of houses come to my Facebook that I gotta look at. It's not happening anytime soon, unfortunately. So we said, okay, we'll come to our house. So the next day they canceled. So we sent out things saying, okay, come to our house. Then all those other people who were supposed to come to our house, who had said the night before that, oh yeah, we'll come, they all dropped out. None of them were now coming. Except for, of course, Craig, who always happens to show up for all these things. So he didn't come on the Saturday that normally we have hangouts. So it was like, we'll just come on Sunday instead for Super Bowl. That'll be the hangout. So that was always the plan anyway. So he just showed up. Obviously we didn't care about Super Bowl because Super Bowl, we would have watched for the halftime show and to watch with friends and drink beer and have snacks. That's basically the reason we watch it. That didn't happen. So we basically came downstairs and trying to figure out what to watch. My wife came down and surprisingly, even she said, "What's next on your Nicolas Cage list?" And I was like, I was supposed to watch Face Off with Derek. And she's like, is it good? I'm like, supposedly it's one of his better movies. And even Craig was like, yeah, it's good. It's supposed to be good. She's like, all right, well, let's watch that. And I'm like, Derek's not going to be happy about this. So I watched Face Off without you. I'm sorry.
I wish you would have told me, because my sister-in-law asked me what Nicolas Cage movie I had to watch next. And I said Face Off. And she said, you should come over and we should watch it. I have it on VHS.
Oh, well, you still could. But you've already seen it, though. So...
Yeah, I have seen it. Yeah. It's been a long time, but I have seen it. That's a good point.
Yeah. I have also already seen it a long time ago. I didn't get any points for it, but
Well, I think I probably watched it around like, I don't know, 2004 or something like that, would be my guess when I watched it.
okay. I watched it more recently than that. Probably, I think I watched it actually when I was living in my parents' house. So 6 to 7 years ago, maybe. So I remember thinking it was okay. I didn't get the whole Nicolas Cage thing at the time, so. Anyways, we can talk a little bit about it. It is good. Oh, we didn't talk about your ranking for Left Behind. I
don't remember. I probably put it in the spreadsheet, but
Left Behind for you is an F.
yeah, that sounds about right.
You are putting that.
Is that the
on
only
same...
F?
No.
Prisoners of the Ghostland.
Prisoners of the Ghostland.
I mean,
is an F. You think that Left Behind is as bad as Prisoners of the Ghostland?
Prisoners of the Ghostland was like graphically much better of a movie, and everything else better, other than the story was terrible.
It sounds like Prisoners of the Ghostland is getting an E from me. I think that's gonna.
From you, sure, not from me.
No, from you. If you're saying that, you're saying Prisoners of the Ghostland and Left Behind are the same F.
Prisoners of the Ghostland has a worse story that they tried to do, and Left Behind is really just propaganda. It kind of like evens them out.
Okay, all right.
Also, caginess. Prisoners of the Ghostland.
That's super cagey.
Has more caginess. Yeah, it has more caginess.
So I would say it would bump it up a little bit. Just be cagey.
No. It saved it from being a Z.
Anyways, watch Face Off. It is super cagey. It is ridiculous. I marked it as an S. Minus.
What? You can't do minuses. We don't do minuses.
I had to because I'm like, it's an S movie.
Nope.
It's super Nick Cage.
It's either an A or an S. You had to pick one or the other. It can't be both.
Because I like Con Air more. I like Con Air more than
That doesn't matter. That's not part of this. You're not comparing them.
I am comparing.
You're just saying where does it rank? Does it rank in S tier? Is it the best of the best? Among the best of the best?
In my opinion, it
there can be more than one S.
But I'm trying to like.
There should be.
If we were doing tier maker, you know what I mean? You can put.
Yeah, that's what we are doing.
I know, but we can't differentiate between the lineage of, Con Air is here, Face Off is here behind it. The ones you like more are to the front of the.
Yeah, you can. It's an A then. It's an A then.
But I'm just trying to. No, because then everything's just the A B. Then you're doing everything A B C D E F. Then you're ranking that way, 1 2 3 4 5, and I'm just trying to put them in a. I'm just trying to put a little differentiated between. It is S. It's just a little bit worse than Con Air. I like Con Air.
So when we make this in an actual ranking tier thing, it's an S.
Yes, but it's
the second S.
Yes, it's behind Con Air. Yes. Even Vampire's Kiss is before this, right? Sure.
Is Vampire's Kiss an S as well? I
put it as an S. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
So
a friend of mine or a coworker of mine was just talking about something. I mentioned Nicolas Cage. I can't remember if it was because of the heads at my desk at work or something else, but I mentioned Nicolas Cage movies, and she said that his movies are just too weird. I said, if you think his movies are weird, you need to watch Vampire's Kiss. And then my other coworker who is more into that kind of weird stuff, like he would watch a weird movie. He got all intrigued. Oh, really? Like he said he really liked what movie was it? Now it's bothering me. We had just talked about it. Oh, the Swiss Army Man. Yep. And I said, check out Guns Akimbo. Akimbo. I keep reading if there's a K in it or not. Anyway, Guns Akimbo, and he said he'd definitely go check that out. So when I said Vampire's Kiss, I thought he would appreciate Vampire's Kiss. I said, if you want to see a weird Nicolas Cage movie, just go watch that.
Go watch Zandalee.
That's the best one. Oh, geez, Zandalee is different, though. That's a different kind of weird Cage.
Yep.
Anyway, so the next Nicolas Cage movie I watched is called Next.
Oh, nicely done. I like it.
So
I also know of this movie, but I haven't seen it.
you know it?
I haven't.
Okay.
I know of it.
Oh,
I
you
know
have
what it's
it.
about.
Okay.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it.
That's all right. I need to remember what it's about. Oh, yes. So let me read the thing. A Las Vegas magician who can see into the future is pursued by FBI agents seeking to use his abilities to prevent nuclear terrorist attack. So it's not really cagey. It's not that cagey. I can't remember any specific parts that are even remotely cagey. But I like the movie itself. The premise was fun. I like him being able to see in the future, but there's limitations, and they establish limitations, which I always like when there's stuff that's not real, but it's based in like the world is reality minus this thing. Like the TV show Pushing Daisies. I have it on DVD. I love that TV show because it establishes what's not normal compared to the real world and tells you the rules right up front and sticks to those rules. And I really liked that this movie did the same kind of thing within reason. They had a little bit of mystery to his ability. But anyway, I also put that they had good editing for the special effect that shows his ability because they did it in a good way to kind of, I think they did it a good way because you're going to say it's shit in a week or two. But I like the way that they showed what his ability was. Yeah. Well, I'm jumping around. Anyway, it also has Julianne Moore as well in the movie. She plays the FBI agent that's pursuing him. Jessica Biel is basically his love interest. There's other people, but I don't know them. So who cares? Yeah, it was a good movie. I liked it in terms of Nicolas Cage movies and kind of modern Nicolas Cage movies because this is 2007. This is kind of almost getting into his like crap movie phase, right?
Yeah. He went through a phase there for a while.
But what did I even rank this?
That's where we're at right now. It's like we were in like he was good, then he was crap for a while, and then he slowly came back up, and now we're like in his good phase for a little while here. So
I marked this. Anyway. Yeah. Well, I gotta get back onto that same path because Face Off and City of Angels and Snake Eyes are next.
City of Angels is another one my wife said she's going to watch with me. She said, if you get to that one, I will watch it with you. All right.
So I marked Next as a B.
A B, okay.
A B. Like mostly that it's a bit cheesy and he's not very cagey, I guess. Yeah.
Cool.
So, the other things I have to mention. So I listened to about 5 Nicolas Cage podcasts now. Coming of Cage is still the best one if you want one to listen to. It's the one that has the guy named Derek.
Yeah.
And the other guy I thought was going to be named Josh, but he wasn't. And then Cage Rage podcast I was listening to. I believe that was the one. And there was one guy talking on it. And he actually interviewed a guy who wrote a book about Nicolas Cage. The book is called How Coppola Became Cage.
Okay.
So I found the audiobook.
Nice.
On, what's the one? Libby or what's the other one? One of the library apps anyway.
Libro or whatever.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called. Hoopla. So if you have a local library, chances are if you have a library card, you can sign up for Hoopla. And what's the other one? Libby is the other one I just said. And you can take out or borrow audiobooks for free. So I did that. They had it on Hoopla. And I listened to the 15.5 hour How Coppola Became Cage, written by the guy who was interviewed on this podcast. And it was really good. So it was really detailed. They did a good job explaining his early career, telling things that people didn't know already. Like in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, do you know why Nicolas Cage was cut out of the movie?
Nope.
Because he was too young. He didn't tell them he was 17. He told them he was 19 or something, 18 or 19, which there's different rules for how long you can shoot with children.
Yeah.
So he had to be edited out of the movie and basically shot his scenes taken out when they were like halfway through making the movie because they found out he was a child, basically. He wasn't an adult. So they had to edit him out and he became a nameless person. So neat, interesting facts like that. There's tons of them. especially about all these movies we talked about so far. I found that, so it spoils some movies. Definitely be aware of that. There's even some that I hadn't seen yet that I'm just like, I'm going to listen to it anyway. And then it also seems to skip around like 1992 to 2022. Like 1999 to 2022 is my estimate of how much they kind of skip past real quick. And just say, oh yeah, he had legal issue or he had money problems from debt and blah, 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 blah. They go into that a bit. And then he just explains little bits of each movie, like not going into as much detail as he had before, really fast through all those other ones. And then he jumps up to Massive Weight,
Unbearable Weight of Massive.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and talks about that. So it seems to me like
this is a recent book then.
It's very recent. It came out just after that movie, I believe. So it sounds like to me he was in the middle of writing the book, and then the movie came out or was announced, and he had realized he had to rush the book. So he quickly went through everything in between and then got it out in time for, the movie being out.
Ride the wave, the hype train.
That's the way it sounded like to me. And nothing against him. He still did a really good job on everything else. He also is a writer that wrote, I guess, the definitive story of Vampire's Kiss. There's it was a blog post originally or something like that, or a news article. I forget what it was, but he interviewed with the producer of that movie, and she became his writing agent because after the movie Vampire's Kiss, she couldn't get a job in Hollywood anymore. So she decided to become a book agent, and I guess he contacted her, or she contacted him, I forget. I think he contacted her knowing she was doing that, and she said, yes, I'll do it, only if you like sign me up or whatever. So yeah, they became friends and because of talking about his article on Vampire's Kiss. So apparently he has some article out there about Vampire's Kiss that's like the definitive one. One of the other things he said during this book is that Nicolas Cage said in an interview one time that he at least around that time he had a strategy for movies he would make. He'd make one for his agent, like make his agent happy, one for himself that he really wanted to do, and then one for the art of acting. And that was his pattern, was those three things repeated over and over. Now, sometimes the movies would get released in different orders and stuff like that, so it wouldn't be exactly perfect, but that was essentially his motivation for doing movies, was one of those three things for years.
Cool.
Yeah.
Puts things into context.
You need to get that book too.
I do.
If I had downloaded it, I would have given you a copy of it, but because it was through this app, and I really tried to find a way to rip it through the app, because I found I got it so that I could get it. I had the files downloaded, but after the first 5 seconds, it would change the encryption key, so it was all garbled for the rest. And every 5 seconds, the encryption key is supposed to change, but because of the way I was ripping it, it wouldn't get the encryption key and do it, and I didn't find a good app for doing that, but I could have also just played it and recorded it with something like OBS or something.
Audacity or something.
Yeah, but it's 15 hours. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, my computer's busy doing other stuff.
Yeah,
for VHS tapes.
It's not hard to just sign up. I gotta find my library card. That's the thing.
Yeah, just sign up for a new one. Actually, I did that. My wife already has one, but I just signed up for a new one. You just go on the Region of Waterloo website and sign up right now. It takes no time at all.
Apparently, you can even sign up for like regions that you're not even in.
Yep, apparently.
And you can just get stuff from their libraries if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Cool. I think actually my card is a Kitchener library card.
Yeah, you can get both. Doesn't matter. Kitchener also does the whole. Actually, mine is provided by Kitchener. Mine isn't Waterloo. When I open up the app, it says provided by Kitchener Public Library.
Oh.
So, yes. Boom. Kitchener Public Library. So, yeah. Great book.
Well.
That's all I have except for our other thing.
Our other thing?
Yeah, our other thing.
Our main event.
our main tickle the feather.
We just started tickling. No one knew there was a main event, so.
Yeah. I mentioned it a couple times, but I didn't say it was a main event. I just said there's something else we did.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. If you're on our Discord, you know what we did because
That's
got
true. I
posted.
teased it, and they guessed it right away.
It got called out immediately.
Yeah.
So when did I message you about this? Was it
I have no
January?
memory.
I
I
think it
have
was
no
in
idea.
January. Or even December. Might have even been December. It was a
I can
long
get
time
you the
ago.
answer, but it's not going to really matter.
It was at least a month ago.
Where did you hear this anyway?
I heard it on the radio.
January 7th is when I purchased.
Okay, and I think it was like the week before we would. So it was end of December. It was probably end of December. We had talked about doing it, and I was just like, Derek would probably want to do this too. I'll send him an invite. Yes, heard on the radio. The Book of Mormon was coming to Toronto to Mirvish Theaters. So I was like, my friend Daryl had we are big fans of South Park. We watched them together, that kind of thing. We had heard about Book of Mormon and we had talked about going, and so I messaged him. I'm like, hey, do you want to go and see Book of Mormon? And he said, yeah, let's go. So in the midst of that, then Craig is like, I'm up for whatever. You heard him when he came to the room. He's like, yeah, whatever. You invite me, and I'll just tag along. I don't care. So he came along as well, and then obviously I told you, and I was like, we are here. Buy a ticket beside us, which you did immediately.
Yep. Yes, I'm gonna do it immediately because if I don't, it won't happen.
So we bought the cheapest tickets on the cheapest night.
A Wednesday night.
A Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Tickets weren't they're not cheap, but they were $100 as opposed to several $100s you could spend. To go and see Book of Mormon. So we went, and
I went in blind. I like the South Park guys a lot. Okay. I like the South Park guys a lot. Like Cannibal the Musical, I hadn't heard of until I met my wife. She told me about it, and it was their first movie in college, and it's hilarious, ridiculous. I've always liked South Park, although I'm not always on board with everything South Park does. I like South Park, and I like the way they do it. Like,
how satirical they are and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and topics that are of the time and very interesting, and they always seem to know everything about everything. It's ridiculous, but it's good. And they're funny. So I heard of Book of Mormon. I mean, it came out originally in 2011.
Yeah.
March of 2011, which is ridiculous. And I always just thought, like we saw in the Discord, Kevin was saying, I'll watch the movie sometime.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to come out with a movie for this.
I don't think so. I
mean, it's been 13 years. There's still going to be movies.
And they're selling out shows still.
Yeah, still. Yeah.
So there's no reason. I honestly don't think it would be as good as a movie. Having gone
I think
to
it could. I think it could.
It could, but it loses something.
Like I picture Orgasmo, like that kind of
I haven't seen
hokey
Orgasmo,
fun. You need to watch Orgasmo. It actually talks about Mormons, like the main character's a Mormon. Yeah. I don't think it dives into as much, but and yes, in terms of going in blind, yes, I did watch the South Park episode on Mormons, so at least I knew something about Mormons.
Yeah.
Because other than that, I never looked into the origins or the beliefs of the religion. Yeah.
So, being where I grew up and what I know about religion and things like that, so I knew of Mormons and I knew kind of a little bit here and there about kind of what they believed. Never did a deep dive or anything like that. So, when we decided we were going to go, I went into more of a deep dive, not into what Book of Mormon is, but the play,
yeah,
the musical, but I more into like, what do they actually believe? So I went and like read the Wikipedia article about Mormonism and okay, how does this work and this kind of thing. And yeah, there's some strange things, but I mean, it's kind of strange. So I do want to point out, I initially thought that this musical, this play was going to be making fun of the Mormons. Like I thought it was just really like tearing it down, like how stupid it is and how they. And to be fair, it does do that.
Yeah,
but not to the degree that I was expecting it to.
I agree,
and not in a bad way either.
Unless you're Mormon.
To some degree, yes. So I've been watching after we came back. I go into the deep dive. I start watching, Matt Stone and Trey Parker interviews about Book of Mormon, and they went on all these talk shows and talk. Everyone's talking like, what do you think? Are you doing this to offend and whatever? And they're very I would say genuine about saying this isn't here to offend Mormons. Like, we like Mormons. We have friends who are Mormons, and we encourage Mormons to come and watch the show. Like, and even people who were interviewing them saying, yes, I took Mormons with me and they liked it. They thought it was funny. So it's not to say that Mormons can't be cool for whatever reason that is. Like, they're cool with it. Just like, people who identify, like, I would say I identify as a Christian, but I'm cool with people making fun of Christianity. Like, I get it. Like, some things don't make sense to people, and that's fine. Some things don't make sense to me, and that's fine. I was expecting them to go harder against Mormonism, and that's not what the show was. It's showing how silly it is.
Yes, I agree. It's more making it silly, not making fun of it. It's using it as a joke that we're all in on.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Not poking fun at and making fun of them.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
And that's not even the main focus either. Like, I mean, it is, but it's not.
Yeah. And I think that was more of the surprise for me, which I genuinely, like, at the time I was just like, oh, I went in with more expectations of, like, I was expecting to be more cutting and more South Parkian, where it's like more offensive. And not to say it's not offensive, but I was expecting more. Like, I was expecting it to go harder.
Yeah.
But
in different directions is the other thing I thought.
Yes. And at the end, it's kind of more endearing towards Mormonism.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
So, or not Mormonism, Mormons.
Yes.
The difference.
Yeah. The people, not the faith.
Not the religion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I also thought that you may have had a unique perspective on the Africa part of it too.
Both sides, because three sides, because it's
there's three sides. Yeah.
Religion.
General, yeah.
The missionary side and the African side. Like,
I
have all those three.
Yeah.
In one, and I was just like,
I was literally, the lady sitting next to me was black lady, and I'm like, oh my god. As soon as they did the African thing in the first joke, I was just like, I could see myself being offended if I was African American or of African origin, and now I'm worried what's gonna be coming up in this show, because I just didn't know where they were gonna go with it. And then I thought, on the flip side, I've got Josh on this side of me, and he's clearly doesn't look like he's ever been to Africa, but spent a good amount of his life there.
Yeah. So it was very unique for me, but because I could see the side, and I could see the missionary joke parts of it, and I could see, like, just things like, showing up at a place and you don't know, like, have you ever been somewhere and you're there to work and no one is, and you don't know who's going to pick you up, and you're going to go, and now you're going to spend time with these people and you're going to work with these people, and not for like, oh, I'm here for a work trip, I'm here for a week, no, you're here for 2 years, buddy. You're here for 2 to 4 years. And it's just,
not a problem I've ever had.
I have not that it was a problem, but it's just an experience that I had. So when they get sent overseas, and it's just like, oh, now at the airport, it's the culture shock. The culture shock's going to hit, and it hits. And I'm like, yep. It hits all those points. So in that sense, it's very well done. So other than the music, like, the music is well done. I thought all the songs were good. They were catchy. The first half,
always are. They're so good at catchy songs.
The first half is all set up. It's pretty tame, quote unquote. It's tame. The second half goes hard. Like, it goes wild. So
yeah, it does.
I don't want to say much more.
I know we're being vague, but it's because we're hoping you all will see it at some point, or
I mean, it's
enjoy
gone
it.
now, so
Yes.
hopefully the next year or two it'll come back. I would definitely recommend going to see it. To be honest, the next time it comes into town, I'm probably gonna take my wife to go see it because
Oh yeah.
I
I
enjoyed
mentioned
it.
to my wife, I don't know how much she could. I don't know how much she would enjoy it. I don't know. It's hard to know. She's also hard to predict
Yeah,
what she'll like.
I'm not afraid of offending my wife, but because I know eventually, like she'll come around, like she'll be offended about something, but like the next joke will make her laugh, kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll we'll see. And she's also been to Africa, so maybe she'll. I took her there once, once. So we'll see. I gotta find those cheap tickets again. But I honestly, I know we were being cheap and not. I would have spent more, but like Craig and Daryl, they didn't want to spend a lot of money because they're not into that kind of thing. So I reserved my expectations because I wanted to go and we picked the seats that everyone could afford and make it accessible. If I go again, I would want better seats because we were at the very back, the very last row. You couldn't get any further back. It was a little bit nice because we had like a headrest. We had a wall right behind
Yeah, I
us.
was saying
so
that. Yeah.
we could put our coat behind our head, kind of thing. It was tight in there. It was
Yeah, it was.
like
not-
seats. You're jammed in like this.
Like I said, I
it
was
got
lucky there was a
very
lady
warm.
beside me. I wasn't between you guys.
Yeah. Oh, poor Craig. He was stuck between me and Daryl, and he just like he was like leaning. We had to like alternate, so he would lean forward, we'd lean back, then I'd lean forward, and he'd lean back.
It was not comfortable.
No.
No.
But- And it's what? It's like 2.5 hour show, so you're there for a
There was
while.
an intermission, which was nice because
Yeah.
if there wasn't, I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah. Well, I needed a break. I needed to stretch my legs. I needed a drink. It was hot in there as well. So
It wasn't bothering me until you mentioned it. And then I got a drink too.
it was interesting because they are they have to be, but it's just interesting to watch. The attendance, they're very professional about, okay, yep, you go here. Where's your tickets? Yep, you go here, you go here.
Mhm.
I saw at one point, one person bring out a phone, excuse me,
Oh,
not to record anything, but just to have their phone up for 1 second. Within 5 seconds, there was an attendant down the aisle looking over at them, and they put their phone away, like within seconds. So they are so attentive there because obviously piracy, right? They don't want.
yeah. You can just put some glasses with the cameras in them, and
Yeah, it's not impossible to do, but it's
Yeah.
pretty terrible quality. But
just take an Apple, whatever.
Yeah, the Vision Pro, there
headset
you
and
go.
Put that on. No one will say anything about that.
nobody. No. Yes, it is a recommendation to go and see the Book of Mormon.
How many points is it?
Theater. It is a theater technically. It's a live show theater.
But it's a live show. Live show should be more than just a theater.
It's true. I would probably award a couple extra points for that. I'm not sure. If someone goes and sees it on our recommendation, let me know, and I will adjust.
Yeah,
points.
Richard
It
will
would
start asking us about everything. Does his kid's concert count?
No, it's not a recommendation. I don't recommend their kid.
No, but would his kid's concert still count as going to a theater to watch a show?
I don't know. If they had to pay money to go there. Yes.
Oh, that's a good differentiator.
Ugh.
We're approaching that 3-hour mark here.
We are hitting that 3 hour mark. You're yawning. I'm starting to yawn. My voice is about
Yeah.
to give out. I don't know what happens. Every time we record, I'm sick. Do I have anything else?
I forgot to put Jungle in my spreadsheet, didn't I? I did.
Jungle is a recommendation. I should add that to my list as well.
Yeah. I didn't delete it yet, so that
It's on my
easier for me
Plex.
to
I've had
watch.
it for ages.
Oh,
I
okay.
just haven't watched it.
Oh, really? That's because of Daniel Radcliffe, or
Yeah. There's a while there where I just every couple of days I just check my torrent list. I'm like, oh, that looks good, that looks good, that looks good, and I add it. I've added a bunch of movies. Haven't watched any of them yet.
so that one 13-inch TV that I have with the VCR built in supports 12-volt input. I need to it's meant for like
a cigarette lighter?
RV. Yeah, cigarette lighter or RV power from a
Yeah.
car battery. I need to take one of my remote control car batteries, hook that up to it, and just carry it around the house with me, watch VHS movies while I'm doing dishes. And
You have to carry around a VCR with you as well.
I do it. No, it's a VHS built in, right? It's got the VCR built
Oh,
in.
right.
Yeah,
Sorry,
one of those
I thought you were
guys.
talking about your little one in the RV one.
No, that one's going to be, yeah. I did see a really cool small VCR on Facebook or something. It was expensive though, but it was like a nice, like imagine a regular VCR cut in 4 pieces and just one of those fourths was the VCR.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, pretty
Super
cool.
compact.
But, yeah, but not going to find one.
Make one. You got enough parts now.
Oh God. It would be pretty cool. Have you ever seen people take the old original Xbox and cut it down to size to make it a slim? They removed the DVD drive so you could do everything hard drive based. Yeah, be cool to do that with a VCR. Just cut it down to size, make it smaller, move the boards around and minimize size. Change the power supply out or remove the power supply because everything's probably 12 volt or 5 volt or 3 volt anyway. Yeah, do it.
Before we end, we need to actually mention, because it's March, and end of March is the Toronto Game Expo.
Yeah,
So anyone listening
there
should be coming. I bought my tables. Derek is coming to help me sell.
I'm driving your ass.
You're driving me because you got a bigger car. So
Yep.
I'm trying to maximize profit on this trip, so minimize costs and maximize my items. I've bought a few things to help display better. I'm going to try and organize my stuff a little bit better. I'm going to have to. I only have 4
cases,
tables.
do you?
I don't need display. I only have 4 tables and I have 3 display cases.
You need my boxes, though, you said? My cart.
Your
my
totes, possibly,
totes?
yes. I'm going to
I
see
should
if
probably
I can
get
just,
those to you ahead of time so you can
organize. And then
fit things in, yeah.
we shall see how that goes. Yep, it is March 23rd.
Is my wife going? Did we discuss that yet? I don't remember.
I don't know if we discussed that or not.
She said she'd go, and I wasn't sure if we'd have room in the car.
March 23rd, yes. From 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's a long show. That's VIP at 11, so it's 11 to 6. That is a long show.
Yeah.
A long. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot. It's funny because I saw that this was announced, and then today I saw that on March 24th. So Toronto Game Expo is on Saturday, on the 24th, which is a Sunday, is the Mississauga Game Show.
I keep seeing the Niagara one advertised too, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's
when
usually
it is yet.
it's usually in April.
Okay.
So I usually can't go because it's like usually right on my wife's birthday. So
yeah, that'll make it difficult.
anyways, so yeah, it's less than a month away, and I'm those free games you saw, they have prices on them. I've been pricing. I don't want to price too early because prices can change. I usually try to do it the month of, so at least they're more recent. I am going to be super aggressive with my pricing. Try to move stuff.
Yeah.
So come and visit. Come and buy from me. Helps.
I need to check my stuff and see if I have anything actually to bring or not. I know it's your table, so I don't need to bring anything, but
Yeah, well, we'll see. Again, we've got 4 tables.
I still have that N64, that modded
That's
N64.
true. Yeah,
is
you
probably
should
the
bring
only
that and try to get that sold.
Would be nice to get rid of it.
Bring a modded Xbox to hook up to a TV.
Or a Raspberry Pi. Just bring one of them, plug it into the TV, and
Yeah, I'll bring some of my my Datafrog SF2000s. Some of these things. Sold for,
yeah,
money back.
a whole box of them to sell.
Yeah, you see the whole box over here?
I was wondering
All
what's in
right.
the boxes.
What's in the box? All right. We're about to hit 3 hours. I need to go. My voice is done.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you. My voice is going. It's cracking. Oh, my gosh. All right. We'll talk to you in April. Okay, bye.